You can say something.
Oh.
I saw you lead into the microphone, and I thought you were going to say something, so I didn't say anything.
I was waiting for you to crack a can, but then
nope,
you don't have a can.
I buy my energy drink in powder form and mix it with water now.
That's how about my drugs.
There you go.
Welcome to We Need Drugs.
I mean, that's an altogether different podcast. I wouldn't say we need them, but
It's like you don't like Coke, you just like the way it smells, right?
Right, exactly.
Good.
Yes.
Hello.
That's what well, I saw a clip of fucking Joey Diaz the other day. He's on that fucking idiot's podcast who I won't name here, but you know
that
what I'm talking about.
Down.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he was like, Code Diaz was like, I quit smoking weed, and he's like, for the first month, he's like, my body know how to fall asleep on its own. He's like, I'd sleep for 2 hours a night, and I'd take a 3-hour nap 5 hours later, then another 5 hours, I'd take another 2-hour nap or whatever. And the host was like, well, did you ever try melatonin? And he's like, I had a cocaine habit for 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
What do you think melatonin's going to do for me?
It's fact. Dog. What's a dog? I like what he talks about doing coke in the 80s.
Yeah.
And he's like, dog, I wake up the next morning, pull out a big booger, I'll put it in my mouth. Oh, it's great. And the host is like, eh. He's like, oh, what? It's like a fucking candy cane. It's great.
Right. Disgusting. Fucking. He on Mark Maron's show, Maron, he played Maron's
no, was he a sponsor?
NA sponsor.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Yeah. But anyway,
I love Joe.
Joe Diaz is hilarious.
He's so good.
Welcome to We Need Wrestling, everybody. I'm DJ. I'm here with Brett.
Hey.
Wrestling happened.
Oh, did it ever?
We have
goddamn so much wrestling. So much
ton to talk about.
So much top-notch wrestling.
Right.
happened.
We have so much to talk about. We might have to cliff notes, just not all obviously
not to talk about a lot of my shit.
No. I'm saying no, we'll see how things are going, but there's a lot of wrestling to cover. So a lot of times we get into a little more in depth in some stuff on an AEW show. It's mostly me. I tend to be like, oh, you skipped this part and you skipped this shitty thing. Maybe
I mean, if there's something you feel I skipped, you know.
But we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
And before the show, you said that you wanted to kick things off, or are we going to talk news first?
I only have two little pieces, and that's it. And then we're going to fucking get right into it.
All right.
Because there is a lot of wrestling to talk about.
Yes. Yes.
So,
and both of us have bought tickets for airplanes. There's no telling if we're going to get on the plane, but we have them.
We might have to.
It's been confirmed.
We might have to play Brett's rant corner tonight.
Confirmed.
So NXT Europe is now a thing. They announced NXT UK is done.
They let a bunch of people go.
They did. A lot of people.
Names I did not recognize. Was Mustache Mountain two of them?
No, no. So they announced I guess on NXT UK, which I'm still not convinced is real.
Okay.
There was they opened up a tournament for the UK title because that Dragunov had to vacate because he's hurt. Yeah. And in the tapings,
remember when Eddie Kingston beat the shit out of him?
That's right.
That was fun.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up and let me speak. Yeah, that's one of my favorite promos. Yep. So there's a tournament. It's already filmed, already taped, all that shit.
Okay.
NXT had their not pay-per-view, which weekly heat wave they called it.
How dare they?
Bullshit.
How dare they?
And I don't know, some point during the show, the new NXT UK champion showed up.
Yeah.
That's Tyler Bate. And I'm just like, but they didn't complete it on the show yet. They didn't air any of the tournament.
That's awesome.
None of the tournament was.
Okay.
So we were just like, fuck it.
Why not?
So why not?
Nobody's watching this shit anyway.
Yeah. So is it going to be if it brings back the European title?
Ooh.
I'm into that. If he could be now crowned the NXT European champion.
Okay.
Into that.
Interesting.
But yeah, he's the new UK champion. Yeah, they announced today it's NXT Europe.
Okay.
Sure.
Why not?
I don't fucking know, but all right. Sure. I don't know what they're gonna do.
It's gonna be filthy with
I'm sure the Polish independence scene is booming.
Why not? They want to get into Germany.
I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see when they're going to do NXT Japan. Remember when there was the rumors of that years ago?
Yeah, they were going to buy DDT.
They're going to buy DDT and Noah and have it be NXT Japan. Oh my god, that's right. Remember Jun Akiyama came over and everything? I wonder if Wrestle Universe would sell.
I don't think so.
Like them, Tokyo Joshi Pro.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of wild.
You know who
I'd be sick to my stomach.
If I was Trips.
It'd be they'd get rid of all the olds in Noah.
Right. If I was Trips, what I would do, based solely on my own personal preference and vulnerability wise, I would find who has the All Japan tape library. I would buy that.
Yeah.
Because you gotta assume that Tony Khan's coming forward at some point. And
I don't know though. I don't know.
And I would buy All Japan also. Like that's what I would do. If you want to make a WWE an NXT Japan, All Japan is the most vulnerable right now. It sucks. Yeah. They may not sell because of the history.
Call it NXT All Japan,
right? And the importance of All Japan to the Japanese wrestling culture, even though they're in the skids. People like them. They say there's good wrestling, but they're the least accessible.
Yeah.
You could make a worse decision.
Yeah, like if you were to just call it NXT All Japan.
But it would break my heart knowing that the once proud Giant Baba property was owned by an American company. But,
I mean, it's on life support the way it is, let's be honest. Right. There's no traction over there.
By Big Japan.
Although, Yuji Nagata's there right now.
Yeah.
I think he's teaming with Kanemaru or something over there.
What's that fucking one that Crazy Monkeys it does?
Freedoms.
By Freedoms.
Yeah.
Make that NXT
Yeah, let's see how that goes over.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was that. I don't know. I saw it and I just went, oh, okay. Yeah. And then the other thing was I saw Aussie Open officially won the New Japan Strong titles.
Oh, did they? That's cool.
Strong tag titles. So they're the inaugural Strong Tag Champs.
That's cool. Good for them.
I like them a lot. I didn't watch any of the match of any of the tournament, really.
Yeah. Well,
but
we are in a very particularly special and I'll say boisterous era of professional wrestling where there's just not enough time in the day. No, you have to pick and choose.
Yeah, you really do. So let's get into it.
Yes.
Unless you have anything you will need to state your piece. You need anything.
You just said that you had questions you wanted to ask me.
Well, this is after we talk about because we're not leading off with AEW or anything else this week. The New Japan G1 Climax 32 wrapped up this morning.
It sure as hell did.
My favorite tournament.
Okay.
As Lance Archer said,
yeah,
I don't care what company you work for, New Japan, AEW, WWE, whatever. This is the only heavyweight tournament that matters.
It is. It feels very special.
Always.
It has probably the greatest pedigree in professional wrestling. Like they have never fucked around with who wins that tournament and like
it's a big deal.
Like they've never
big fucking deal.
Like if you look through those names, which we can do later, they do not fuck around with who wins.
And when you go back and see some of the names that were in it, I mean, Steve Austin, Rick Rude, like I'm just talking Gaijin wise, William Regal,
right? Well, so I was going back, so it wasn't always the G1, the G1.
I know it started off at like the International Wrestling Grand Prix,
right?
And
then before that, it was the whatever thinger. But like, Andre the Giant won it one year, and then Hulk Hogan won it the next. And this is like pre WWE fame, or maybe similar. It's early '80s.
Was it early '80s?
It is, yeah. I had it up earlier today, but yes.
Regardless of the G1, it is always been the premier tournament.
Yes, absolutely.
I think probably the last G1 like before I really got fully into New Japan that I didn't fully watch. I think it was 2014.
Yeah.
Because I've been watching like ever since the 2015 G1. I don't miss it. Like it's just
Hogan won in '83.
Well, that was when he won the IWGP title, right?
It was the International Wrestling Grand Prix.
Yeah,
which is a precursor to the G1.
Exactly.
Same thing with Andre. Andre won the 1982 MSG League.
Yes,
that was the last time it was named that, and then he won the '85 International Wrestling Grand Prix, which was a tournament for the title. Whatever, they're a little different, but like they're considered the predecessor. Yeah, sort of in the same line.
I get it.
When you look up the G1, The results for those are also listed.
Sure.
So like
the grade 1 climax.
They protect that shit like crazy.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, go ahead.
So this was the final week for the G1.
Yes.
Heavy week.
Heavy week.
So
a week so heavy that it got my ass out of bed every morning.
I was shocked when I saw you tweeting.
Yep.
I was actually shocked.
So let me explain why. So for those of you who don't know about the G1, the way it's set up, they'll do 4 matches a night, 5 matches a night when they do the shows, 3 times a week, whatever. This last week, they got a lot of shit to wrap up.
Yeah.
So that Monday show is nothing but the last G1 matches.
That's all, it's the last night for block matches.
Right. So every match was, and a lot of these, 2 matches didn't matter. 2 matches were guys mathematically eliminated.
It's so funny because I watched 6 out of the 8.
I watched that whole show. I got up at 5 a.m.
Everything on that show?
I watched it from 5 a.m. through.
I'm curious to see. All right.
I watched all of that, every single one of those matches. I was like, you know what? I don't, and I know they put the order out, but I was like, they usually do some surprises. I don't want to be spoiled because there was a lot of stuff. There was potential in the D block for a 7-way tie.
Oh yeah. It was insane.
If they do something crazy, I don't want to miss it. So I'm getting up at 5 a.m. because that's what it airs here. Because Japan is, I think I looked like 13 hours ahead of us or whatever it is. And I watched that whole one, and then
I was going to sleep like an hour before that, thanks to my neighborhood being a ruckus.
Right, and then the next night, Tuesday, was the semifinals.
Yeah, Tuesday was the semis, and Wednesday was the semis.
Did they skip a day between?
No, because Tuesday was the last match, last block night.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't up today. Was I not up Monday morning that early? Maybe not.
Oh, because this morning would be Thursday for us.
Okay,
this
right.
was the finals.
Yeah. I thought they had skipped a day in there, but
no.
I guess not. But then I was able to do the. Oh yeah, they did. They did the 13th, the 14th, and then the 16th and 17th.
16th, 17th,
okay.
18th. Yeah.
So, but I was up. I knew I only needed to see half the show the next day, so I timed that out to catch half the show.
You got to just time it out. Sometimes.
This morning, I was able to time it out, and I set my alarm, and then I got up and I just turned my internet on and looked what was happening live on New Japan World on my phone, and then it was the Good Brothers tag match. I was like, I got time, and then I went back to bed.
I was up for the whole show tonight.
There you
go. So all right. I have G1 night 16. I watched 3 matches this night.
Okay.
Kenta, Aaron Hanare.
Okay.
Did you watch this?
I watched. That's the only one I watched that day.
Okay. Super, like full of striking.
Yeah.
Kenta gets the win.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like, I think both might have been eliminated by this already.
Yeah. I don't think Hanare was anywhere in the picture.
No.
I should go get my bracket, but
go ahead.
Yeah, let me go grab the bracket.
I'll talk.
But I like the body lock, the Kenta body lock on the ref to get out of the full Nelson.
Dude, Kenta. I know some people think Kenta's washed, and that makes me real sad. But when I don't know, I don't think he's washed. He throws 6 strikes and open palm slaps and cool kicks, and I don't know. It's fucking Kenta. Fuck you. He rules. And Aaron Hanare, he's been a standout for me so far.
Back.
You're right there.
Yeah,
Jesus
no, I'm
Christ.
broken down. Kenta isn't washed.
No.
People are upset. The people are nuts.
Kenta's just real beat up.
He is, still. What are we looking at? Hanare finished with 2 points, so he was pretty much eliminated.
Wow, the only match he won was Tanahashi?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so he beat Tanahashi then and went over.
Yep. Kenta finished with 6, so he was probably still in the running at this point.
Okay.
But not for very much longer.
Okay. So the other 2 matches I watched, I watched Will Ospreay Yoshihashi.
Why?
It was fucking good.
Yeah?
It was, dude.
I'll take your word for it.
I'll tell you what, Yoshihashi, big surprise for me this tournament.
Okay.
Maybe it's just the level of competition he's had. Because the couple matches I watched for him were, Shingo and Ospreay.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another one in there I forget. But tell you what, it was pretty fucking good.
Okay.
Will Ospreay got the win.
ELP was in that bracket. Shingo, Juice.
Yujiro. Yeah, well. Then the last match I watched tonight was Switchblade versus Taichi.
Okay.
because
this almost got watched, but then I decided that Taichi would just let me down.
No, he did not.
Okay,
he wrestled like Kawada.
That's
At
good.
one point, Gato had Miho Abe by her hair on the outside, and Taichi went like full murder Taichi.
Okay.
Was just beating the fucking shit out of Jay White over it.
Nice.
It was a good time.
Okay.
Obviously Jay White got the win.
Yeah, because he went undefeated through most of this.
More on that later.
Mm-hmm.
Night 17.
Is that the 14th? I guess so.
I watched a match.
Me too.
Kenta versus Hiroshi Tanahashi.
That would be the one.
Yep, that's the only fucking thing worth that night.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch it because I think this was their first singles match since Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay.
The one where Kenta got ultra fucked up and missed 6 months.
Right.
I'll tell you what, I don't know, it felt like they hated each other.
Yeah.
It felt like angry.
Yeah.
And I'm not used to that out of a Tanahashi match.
This match, while I thought this was good, this was where I made the final call because I wasn't sure. And so Tana gets eliminated here. Tana loses this and
Kenta
he's out.
Wins. Dude, when Kenta chucked the table at Tanahashi's head,
whoa. This was where I was like, okay, this schedule is too much for Tanahashi.
Yeah.
His knees looked really bad here.
Mm-hmm.
Like rough. I was like, okay, this is a lot of matches back to back. This is a hard schedule for a guy. Like he can slow it down and make some lesser appearances. You're not done, but those knees looked like they were fucking bothering him.
Yeah, I agree.
You had Jonah on commentary for this.
Jonah was great on commentary.
My favorite part is when Kenta and all his goons are doing the fucking Too Sweet, and Jonah says he's going to call his friends Hunter and Sean.
Mm-hmm.
To get them to stop doing
another cease and desist.
To get them to stop doing the Too Sweet.
Kevin Kelly just goes, I already had that happen once. Let's not do that.
Right. So that was crazy, and it made me think like there's a really good possibility that Jonah gets the call again.
We'll talk more later.
Okay.
And
also Red Shoes gets slapped and bumped in a great way in this. So one of my favorite things that Kenta does, and it looks great every time.
Is it the overhand right?
It's the duck overhand.
Yeah.
It's the duck counter right. It's amazing. And that's what happens here. He ducks it and Red Shoes gets slapped and bumped. But Kenta does that so good.
He looks like he's going to knock you out.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's so quick with that. It helps because he's shorter than a lot of the other guys.
Yeah.
But Tana's eliminated here.
Yeah.
He finishes with 6 points. Perfectly reasonable in this kind of tournament with these 4 brackets. But, that's the end of the road there.
Yeah. I'll save for the end. So this was night 18. This is the last night of block matches.
Okay.
First one I have written down, Will Ospreay, Juice Robinson.
That's the only one that I watched.
No.
Is that from 8/14?
No, this was the last block night. So this would have been Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
This past Tuesday.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I have my dates mixed up. So that's the 16th. I have an extra date here for some reason. Yeah. This was the beginning of... Yeah. This is the beginning of that. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so Will Ospreay, Juice Robinson.
Right. I was awake at 5 a.m. I watched this whole show.
Yeah. I love that Ospreay didn't wait for the entrance because he was pissed off and attacked Juice while entering, which was great because they have beef now.
So in the setup here was Ospreay needs to win and Shingo to lose.
Yes.
For him to advance.
Yeah, so they're setting up the end of D block.
Right. Which was the craziest fucking block.
Dude. Will Ospreay does end up beating Juice.
Yes.
What'd you think of the match?
I liked it. I thought it was really fun. Juice re-steals the U.S. strap at one point. The title hidden under the ring was
smart.
Cool.
Precursor to this. Whoever the fuck thought Chase Owens on commentary was a good idea. He was actively ruined this day. He was bad. Yep. And listen, I'm not just saying that because I think he's a bullshit wrestler. He's
worse on commentary than he is in the ring. I saw his tweet
like New Japan found something he's worse at. He was bad. Terrible. Really bad.
Yeah.
There's no personality. Shitty, trying to be funny one-liners. He fucking sucked.
I like to make fun of Yoshihashi, and the matches that I watched of this, he's really taking stuff and learning and growing. He's never going to be my guy, but he's trying and getting better.
But like you said, we could notice improvement.
Right. I said no.
I'll recognize improvement.
Right. I said no Yujiro in 2022.
Check mark to
that.
Not
watching the Tokyo Pimp. I've succeeded.
Yeah.
But again, Yujiro did well in this tournament. Can have good matches.
Sure.
Chase Owens is actually useless. He might
sucks.
be the worst main company signed wrestler on the planet.
How he has a contract, I want to know what blackmail he
he's
has
also
over
featured.
someone.
Not only does he have a contract, but he's featured.
He was just half of the tag champs.
He beat Ishii.
I won't recognize that. I didn't watch that.
It's
match.
insane. He is awful.
But yeah, he fucking sucks.
I cannot tell you a single thing he does well. I really can't.
No.
And I'm not just trying to be shitty. I really can't tell you a single thing he does well.
They call his V trigger the C trigger?
Yeah, something.
He fucking...
Yep.
The whole show, I was almost I almost switched over to Japanese commentary. That's how awful he was.
Terrible.
Yeah, you fucking sucked. But Will Ospreay used to not suck.
No, very good.
Will Ospreay gets the win.
Yes.
Which leads to the second match that I watched.
Mm-hmm.
El Phantasmo versus Shingo Takagi.
And they're sort of taking care of the blocks in order. They go the 2D matches, the 2C matches, the 2B matches, the 2A matches. Well,
I like it, but
it works.
But yeah, El Phantasmo versus Shingo Takagi. Yes.
Shingo wins and he takes the D block. Doesn't matter what Ospreay did.
No.
Shingo wins, he gets the D block.
This El Phantasmo has arrived, my friend.
He wins. This is a good match with a great ending.
Crazy that he won.
It really is.
And when he hits the CR2 or the CR3 now that he's calling it, which is what basically how would you describe it? Arms tucked pile driver, sort of,
kind of.
Yeah. Though
it looked really good,
dude.
He beat Finley, Shingo, and Yujiro for 6 points in this tournament.
Great. Hey, good showing for your first G1.
Right, first heavyweight thing. I actually saw some people online complaining about him in a different match, saying he should really leave this junior weight stuff behind if he wants to be. He forgot that he was in a heavyweight tournament. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Just go away.
This match is good. I said a good match with a great ending sequence.
Yeah.
ELP is an impressive dude here for sure.
He's got a bright future. Mm-hmm. He really does.
I think so.
The next one
because he wins, Ospreay wins the block. That's our first semifinal winner.
Yes.
Yeah.
The next match I watched, and if you watched anything before it, you let me know.
Okay.
Was Tetsuya Naito versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Okay. Evil Goto was next.
You watched that?
I watched the whole show.
Okay.
I watched all of it. I was up. I'm doing it.
Well, I fucking
watched it all live.
Evil. He's not like Chase Owens bad. He's a different kind of bad.
So this had interesting going into it. The reason why I wanted to watch this is because Goto's in play here.
He is. This is C block, right?
Yeah, the G in G1 stands for Goto.
As we all know.
I put my body on the line for a tattoo if Goto won the whole thing.
You sure did.
So if Goto won here, he can force a tie if Sabre Jr. loses to Naito.
Yeah.
So the match was fine.
Goto I'm assuming there's a bunch of House of Torture bullshit.
Goto takes a nut shot from Dick Togo into everything evil and loses because all they do is cheat. It's nonsense. They cheat because evil's not any good.
No.
So Goto loses, which then Naito versus Zack Sabre Jr. Whoever wins takes the block.
Yes.
If Goto had won, it would have been a tie with whoever wins that. And then they would have had some sort of runoff or something, but it didn't get there.
That makes sense.
Goto had a great showing. Finished with 6 points, beating Tanahashi, Naito, and Hanare.
Goto, he still got it.
Goto still has it. Lots of people think he's boring. I don't get it.
No.
I like Goto a lot. We'll talk about him a little bit later too.
We will.
But yeah, this match was what it was. But I was really hopeful that Goto was going to force some sort of tie here, but he didn't. Naito versus Zack Sabre Jr. Winner takes the C block.
This had me in stitches.
Yeah.
The match goes less than 2 minutes.
Less than 3. It was like 2:53.
Okay.
Yeah.
Naito wins.
Naito wins with a roll-up, plus 3 stars.
So there you go.
Not in the Tokyo Dome, but plus 3 stars.
Plus 3 stars at the Budokan.
Mm-hmm. According to the hashtag dude scale.
I loved as much as I love that, I love the post-match stuff.
Yeah. Sabre
it was great.
Sabre loses his gourd. The best part of it is the backstage where he comes walking in the back and he's got a chair over his head and he's carrying 2 chairs.
Yeah.
And he's just super pissed.
Yeah.
He eats a roll up. He gets
got.
caught.
He got got.
And Sabre Jr. Pretty much this entire G1 was sneaking out, was taking them from people. You got caught slipping, he would snatch your arm and that was it.
Yeah.
And he got caught on this one.
Dude, I loved the Naito when he was on the outside doing the motioning for how the young boys do when you lose to walk down you don't walk through the curtain, you walk through the other backstage. He's doing that motion to him. I liked him throwing the ice bag at him and Sabre hitting it like he was a baseball. That was great. Sabre when he was smashing the chair on the outside, Naito's in the ring faking like he's hitting a chair on the ropes.
Yeah.
This was just Naito you could tell he's having fun.
Right.
And I said a couple weeks ago, man, Naito's going to win out.
Yeah.
He won out.
He won it.
It was a fucking
right.
block.
Naito started weak, finishes with 8, which in any other instance is enough to win the block, but or he does win the block.
Yeah.
Sabre also finishes with 8, which is normally enough to win the block, but the tiebreaker is literally that match against Naito.
Yeah.
Naito beats Kenta, Sabre Jr., Hinare, and Evil. Sabre beat Kenta, Goto, Hinare, and Evil.
Yeah.
I think people probably shocked by this and maybe a little upset because of how the caliber of wrestler both these guys are. But
you have to have this sometimes.
Right. In days and days of matches of guys trying to show who has the best and prove their shit and how great are you, this is refreshing and stands out.
Yes.
And it's really smart. And it wasn't like a Yano type thing where you're embarrassed or it's a joke.
You just got rolled up. You got caught. That's all it was. You got caught.
And if you want to maintain believability in wrestling, sometimes this shit happens.
Yeah.
Just what it is.
It's okay to lose in 3 minutes sometimes.
It's what it is.
So at this point, I was 2 for 2 on my block final picks. I had Ospreay and Naito.
Okay. I never actually made my picks. Okay. But this is about where I would have
because at this point I was 2 for 2.
Yeah.
There's
there's only the B block would have busted my bracket immediately. No, but this is about where I thought everything baseline from the beginning. These two make sense so far.
So the next match I watched was Ishii Sonata.
That is the next match on the card. Yes. Both men mathematically eliminated.
Yeah.
The first match on the show that has no stakes whatsoever.
This is where I'm almost convinced this might be the end of Ishii in the G1.
Yeah.
Why have this match on the show if it's not?
Well, because they had. I mean, there's another mathematically eliminated match. I think they just you fill a show and it is what it is.
I guess the match it was okay.
I thought they both went for it. I think they're both of these guys are grossly underused in New Japan. Sadly, I get why you have it on there. You want a full show of it. I don't think there's an actual way to resolve. I think you have to on these shows have 2 matches from every bracket. I don't think you could resolve anything earlier.
True.
So just statistically, I think there's always going to be matches that don't matter.
Gato, get your shit together. Book it better.
But Ishii finishes with 4 points.
Yeah.
With this win over Sonata. Lots of people got Chase Owens got 4 points. Great O'Khan got 4 points, and Tai Chi finished with 4 points.
Yeah. Listen, I hope it's not the end of Ishii in the tournament. I really hope not because I love him in the G1.
What I would like for them to do, and they do this with other wrestlers, long term. They do it with especially a guy like Okada, where a lot of Okada storylines over the last couple of years. It's he lost, and now. It's
the redemption.
He's going to build himself up for the next year to redeem himself and show it was an off year, but I can do better. My hopes and dreams, and I don't know, I doubt they'll do this. My hopes and dreams is that Ishii's I really fucked up. I'm Mr. G1, and again, his matches have all been great.
Mm-hmm.
And next year he wins a block. He's last year was a fluke. I'm pissed off now. I'm coming for everybody in next year's G1.
Yeah. So what was the next match that you watched?
So the next match on the card is Tama Tonga King Switch.
Oh, yeah, yes. Okay, I didn't watch the match after this.
Yes.
So now I don't know. Now I know where you're at.
That's the other mathematically eliminated one.
Yes. So this was for
this is winner takes the block.
Yeah, winner takes the B block.
King Switch, Jay White
Undefeated at this point.
Tonga has one loss.
Yes.
He had lost to
Ishii. I would say it was Ishii. Yeah,
it was
Ishii. As I remember watching. That might have been the only Tama-Tonga match I watched this whole tournament.
So, and the way that works is they would both finish with 10, but whoever wins has the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Well, if Jay White wins, he's undefeated. If Tama wins, he has the tiebreaker.
Yes.
And that's what happens. Tama-Tonga wins.
Yeah, Tama-Tonga.
The immediate. I don't care who the fuck you are. If you were predicting, nobody picked him to win this block.
I had Switchblade winning the block.
Right, me too. I like that he didn't.
Because
we don't need the champ defending.
It sets up a future title match between the two,
and they clearly, I would assume this means they have a future for Tama-Tonga.
Oh, absolutely. How could you not?
Right.
I mean, he looks like $1 million.
Right. Handsome as fuck, dude. Great shape.
Yeah.
Just like Roman used to. Get rid of the vest thingy.
Yeah,
I agree.
You don't need
good looking
shit.
dude.
Yeah.
Right.
You have like a fucking 8-pack. Right. What are you wearing that for?
Right.
But I was shocked.
I thought this match was great.
I like that it's a shocker in the G1.
It's the biggest. It's one of the biggest shocker in the tournament.
I agree. Yep. This is bigger than Jonah Okada.
Yeah.
This was
because Jay White's
shock. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right. Jonah positioned as strong on a more of an international stage. Tom is a tag team wrestler. I know they're positioning him out of that right now because his brother's hurt and whatever. And Tom is going to be in Jersey on this weekend.
Yeah.
He's at that bullshit signing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the biggest shocker of the G1, and this match was awesome.
Yeah, good for Tama-Tonga.
Absolutely.
You know, he's been in G1 or a New Japan guy a long time. One of the original Bullet Club guys.
And I like that they're willing to take this chance and shock the world.
That's what you have to do.
And he earned it. It wasn't like that doesn't make sense. He looked really good.
Yeah, he looked good. I agree. Sure. So I did not watch the next match.
I would have skipped this one, but I was awake. If I'm getting up at 5 a.m., I'm earning
I caught the post-match graphic where it said who the winner was.
So Jonah versus Fale, both mathematically eliminated. Even
though Jonah kept saying he was, like on commentary, they're like, "Oh, he actually is eliminated."
Wrong. Yeah, I looked it up. I don't know where the fuck that backwards math was coming from.
Yeah.
He's eliminated. And this is essentially your P-break match, gearing up for the main event.
I didn't watch a single fucking Fale match.
Right. I have nothing. I can't tell you a goddamn thing about this match. Fale is immobile. He looks like a statue in that ring.
He shouldn't be in there.
The only thing, and I'm going to give this is a Chase Owens thing on commentary. Bad dude Tito is out there with Jonah. That's his boy.
Yep.
And on commentary, Chase Owens kept calling him Big Teats.
Big Teats.
And I laughed because, shout out Big Tates from Wings
what
on
up,
Wings.
Big Tates?
But calling him Big Teats.
Old Big Teats.
But I couldn't tell you the other thing. Jonah is fine, but Fale just looks like he looks like he's a human statue. Like he's just immobile, too big. Too sort of been doing it for too long. Too many bumps on his bump card.
Yeah, I agree.
And that is, let's see. Does he?
So Jonah ended up with 6 points. Right?
Jonah ends up with 8 points.
Okay, so he beat
Lawler, Cobb, and Fale.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fale ends up with 4. He beat Archer and Yano.
Yes.
Again, they were both mathematically eliminated. Jonah's fucking nuts. He doesn't know how to do math.
No, he doesn't.
That's all that time in NXT. But yeah.
Yeah, so this leads to the main event of the show. The last block match.
Winner takes the block.
Yes. Kazuchika Okada.
Yes.
Versus the Murder Hawk monster himself, Lance Archer.
Right. And we have Okada, who has already beaten Yano, Lawler, Cobb, and Fale. Lost to Jonah.
Yep.
And Archer has beaten Jonah, Yano, and Lawler.
So
he lost to Cobb and Fale.
It was the setup where if Archer wins, he gets the tiebreaker.
Right, they finish with the same, but he has the tiebreaker over Okada.
I love the way that this match started.
Yeah.
Where Archer was just standing in the middle of the ring, not acknowledging Okada at all, and then just boom, goozle, choke slam. I was like, I thought that was going to be the finish, and I would have lost my mind if that happened. This match was brutal. When Archer hits the rolling senton on Okada on the outside.
With the guardrail? It was awful.
Oh my God.
I was like,
it looked like it killed Okada.
Yeah, it really did.
But fear not, fans of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Kazuchika Okada beats Lance Archer.
He does,
and
rightfully
to win
so.
The A block,
you're not getting the
he's
semifinals.
The fucking Rainmaker.
Right. You're not getting the semifinals with Okada. Question though. So I thought this match felt big. I thought Archer feels like a threat. Him doing this well. Because, like, I love G1 Archer.
G1 Archer's a different Archer.
Archer cannot do this in
he
AEW.
knows he's a different guy. Here.
He knows he can do more.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if when his AEW contract's up, if he says, yeah, I'm just going to go to Japan all the time.
Well, we'll talk later.
But do you think they did this? They booked him as well as they did as, like, a favor to AEW in their relationship?
You have to.
Because here's the thing. On commentary in New Japan, they talk about AEW whenever Archer's in that ring.
Yeah, like when he was coming out, they didn't have the Suzuki-gun logo. Right. They had the AEW logo.
How much did AEW plug Archer in the G1 over the last month?
Not once.
Right.
Yep.
Weird.
They haven't plugged him in the G1 since Forbidden Door.
Right. And I would have, because he's looking good.
Yeah, you should be.
Do you think it's the problem because because if he comes back and he looks this good in Japan, you're like, what the fuck are you doing with him? Like, whatever.
That's exactly the problem.
Right, that's the problem.
Yeah.
But Archer looks good. I like this match. Come on now. He's not beating Okada. No. That's just what it is.
He's Okada, baby.
But I like Archer a lot in Japan. G1 Archer is a different animal.
He's a whole different...
Yeah.
He's a whole different guy. It's crazy.
Right, it really is.
So we'll go to...
so Okada wins the block.
Yes, Okada's the A block.
So Okada,
I went 3 out of 4 on my blocks.
Naito and Ospreay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty basic. I definitely would have got the numbers right at all.
Yeah.
Ishii having two points until the last one.
That.
Like, I would have fucked that all up. Tama Tonga would have blown everyone's thing.
Yeah.
Yujiro being at the top of the D block for like half a minute.
David Finlay
looking like he was going to win it. I never would pick those.
No, never.
But this was, and like the 10 points ended up being the top. And we got a couple people finishing with 10.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Okada finishes with 10. Tama Tonga and Jay White finished with 10.
Man, imagine getting 10 points and not being in the semis. That's wild.
Right, crazy.
So speaking of the semifinals.
Yes.
They had the format where it was the winner of A block versus the winner of B block, winner of C block versus the winner of D block.
Yes.
So...
I only watched 2 matches.
Same.
Don't need to see the other shit.
No.
Sorry, New Japan.
No. So the winner of A block, Kazuchika Okada, versus the winner of B block, Tama Tonga.
Absolutely. Tama Tonga wins here. I would say the upset of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know that I don't know that New Japan could manufacture a bigger upset than Tama Tonga beating Okada here.
Well, DJ, you don't have to worry about it.
I know, it doesn't happen.
Okada gets the win. I loved in the beginning where him and Okada dapped each other up and the crowd got loud over it. Like they loved seeing that. Tell you what, man, this match was really fucking good.
Really good.
Okada was kind of like heelish.
A little bit, because the crowd got really behind Tama Tonga in this match.
Yeah, apparently he's like moving a lot of merch over there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He's been there a long time.
That's what I mean.
He's the baby.
He's one of the first 4 of the Bullet Club.
Right. Good looking dude. Again, he's got that pedigree because his papa is Haku. Yeah. This match was really good.
Yeah, man. I thought match was very good. I agree.
There was a gun stun reversal on the Rainmaker, was fantastic.
Yes.
And was a giant moment in the match. Like, the crowd freaked out.
Yep.
Because that was the moment where the crowd was like, wait, they're going to continue to pull the trigger here?
Yeah.
Crazy. And then the ending sequence of just finisher, reversal, finisher, reversal, finisher, reversal.
The classic sequence.
Right. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
Done really well. Okada wins, but good for Tama, honestly.
Great showing, man.
Honestly, better.
One of your top 4 last guys in this. What more could you ask for?
Better than anybody I think would have thought from him.
Yeah, I agree.
In this,
yes.
even making it to the semifinals is huge for him. But like having this good of a match against Okada it's a really big deal.
I agree.
It's a big deal.
So that leads us to the other semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
Tetsuya Naito versus one William Ospreay.
Yes.
First time ever.
Bill Ospreay. Yeah. Crazy first time ever.
Never would have thought that.
Because he's wrestled Okada 8 times, 7 times.
Well, yeah, that's who's his biggest rivalry has been since he went heavyweight. Has been Okada.
Right.
I loved this.
I thought it was really good.
Will Ospreay beats Tetsuya Naito,
Awesome stuff.
off to the G1 final.
Yeah.
Dude, Ospreay, I feel like, is on a different level right now.
Yeah.
He's just he's up here, and I don't know. Yeah. Maybe Okada's equal with him, like. But
God, I would not say that.
Dude,
but he's
Ospreay's
had a great run,
killing it.
But
he's absolutely
this
killing
was a great G1 for him for sure.
He has. Yeah. I love this match. I thought it was really fucking good. It was great. Awesome. I was excited because it was never happened before.
Yeah,
fresh matchup. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen too often in New Japan.
No, not because they don't have a ton of new blood coming in.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So it was. Yeah,
yeah,
very
top
welcoming.
Poison Rana.
That was crazy.
Ospreay takes a crazy bump off the Destino, like on his neck, which was wild.
Yeah.
And up until this point in the G1 anyway, like the closest falsie off of the Hidden Blade I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was an awesome match for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
So this leads us to the finals today. Bunch of undercard tags. The only things of importance I felt like was Kushida got a pin over Taiji Ishimori, which that means he's going to get a shot at the junior belt.
Okay.
Tanahashi got a pin over Carl Anderson in their tag match, so he's going to probably get a shot at the Never belt.
Oh, Carl's Never?
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, I know. And then, Tama Tonga just kind of taunting Switchblade still about the win, so I feel like whatever their next big event, that's kind of 3 matches made for you right there.
Yeah, right.
So, but what we're all here for, the G1 Climax 32 Finals.
Yes.
Kazuchika Okada, Will Ospreay.
Yes.
These dudes put on an absolute classic.
Yeah.
This is
a wild match.
Amazing. Yeah. It was start to finish amazing.
Right. And it's a match that, like, I don't want to say it's hurt because it's great, but it's hurt by the fact that, like, when you sit down to watch a G1 final, if it's not 5 stars, you're like, fuck this match.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not 6 stars, you're like, what the fuck are you, what? Oh, G1's real slipping now.
Yeah.
And they crush this. Great story.
I love the story that, Ospreay's the guy that he turned on Okada because he was sick of being under Okada's thumb in Chaos.
Right.
He felt like he was never going to get an actual shot at the title that, obviously Okada running the heavyweight division. Right. Ever since United Empire's come along, Ospreay's really come into his own as a heavyweight.
Yeah, for sure.
I know he's a very polarizing guy for people. I completely understand that. I felt like in this match, he wrestled like a goddamn heavyweight.
Yeah.
Lots of forearms. And I mean, of course, is he going to tone it down with like all the flip shit he could do? No. And why should he?
Right.
I mean, there's no reason for him to tone it down. I loved him, and they sold this great on commentary. Going back and watching tape on guys that have beat Okada.
That was my favorite part.
Hitting the high fly flow, hitting the Styles Clash, hit the V trigger.
Trying and unsuccessfully hitting the
One-Winged Angel, which, they made a big point to talk about that on commentary after the match.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I love this. I thought it was an instant classic.
Yeah.
The end sequence was crazy.
It was nuts. Yeah.
When Okada hits like that Cobra Flosion, like the way he reversed it out of the Stormbreaker was
I think he had to do the same thing against Archer, and they talked about in the Archer match where he had to hit the 3 moves to beat him.
Yes.
Not just the one. And then that carried over for Ospreay too. He had to hit that. He does the money clip into the Cobra Flosion.
Yeah.
Into the Rainmaker. The Rainmaker. Ospreay, I've talked about it on here. He's not my guy. But he, a hell of a performance in a bunch of matches here, stepped up in a big way. And this match, it's again, I was saying it before, but it's what you want out of a G1. They have to be great. If they're not great, people are going to call you out for it. It's the tradition of it all. It's who gets the briefcase to carry to Wrestle Kingdom. It's super important. You get the headline there, WrestleMania, and Ospreay held his own, but came up a little short.
Well, yeah, I mean, hey, you're in there with God.
Because you don't bet against Okada.
No, of course not.
In New Japan, you just don't.
It is what it is. You don't do it.
With the chance for Okada to win his 3rd G1.
This is his 4th.
That's his 4th.
Yeah, because he won the G1 last year.
Okay.
And he won it twice prior.
Okay, so it's 4th, which ties Chono?
Chono has 5.
Chono has 5. Okay, Chono has 5. They're clear. Okada's going to beat that.
Yeah.
Probably next year he'll tie it.
He'll beat that. I said to you this morning, we were texting during it, like, Ospreay's only 29.
Right.
If he wants to stay in New Japan, he's going to get a G1. It's going to happen. It's going to happen within the next 3 years.
No, G1, only one non-Japanese wrestler has ever won, and his name's Kenny Omega. You might have heard of him.
Some guy named Kenny Omega.
Again, if you go back before it was G1, Hogan, Andre. But other than that, it's been Japanese, homegrown Japanese guys. New Japan's very protective of that.
Sure. Rightfully so.
The chance to have Okada main event Wrestle Kingdom against Jay White, still with that story with, Jay White won it off of him last year at Wrestle Kingdom. Like, that's when Jay White got the title, right? No?
He beat him at Dominion.
Was it Dominion that he beat him? Okay.
Yeah.
But either way, it's still that story with Okada and him and Gato, turning heel.
Sure.
They're still telling that same story. White got his first title off Tanahashi in 2019 and wasn't ready.
Yep. They
tried to force him into the Kenny Omega mold, and it's not who he was. It's still not who he is, and I think Jay White especially has, like, this past year has really elevated and found his complete self.
Yes.
He's
raised the bar.
He's been building to it, but this last year has been amazing for him. And you do not have a Wrestle Kingdom without Okada versus him on top. That being said, Okada's got to defend that briefcase. So he's gonna have at least a match or two defending that briefcase.
There's going to be one person who he has to defend it against.
Jonah, right? Got to get that win back.
Has to get it back, brother.
And so it's just what you do, and nobody's going to complain about it. We say it all the time on the show. New Japan lives and breathes by Okada.
Sure.
If Okada's not having good matches, the company fucking shits the bed.
Yeah.
There was a lot of worry about Jay White winning this title and what can happen with Okada not having it, because it doesn't always go well. And Jay White's doing a really good job. But eventually, that title goes back around the waist of Okada.
100%.
Because that's just how he's.
It's the way things need to be.
I was telling somebody today, he is the biggest star in 20 years. I mean, Tanahashi carried that company on his back through the dark times. But, Tanahashi also debuted 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Okada is generational.
Okada's been the Rainmaker for 10 years now.
Right.
And look at the global spread of New Japan in the last 10 years.
Oh, well, because Okada sort of that's Tana carrying it through the dark times, and then Okada becoming the Rainmaker and taking the reins.
Yeah.
And it's just, there has not been a talent like Okada. Tanahashi, I love him. He's the ace. Okada's bigger.
Okada's bigger than Tanahashi. It is what it is.
It's just what it is. Okada, the parallels to American wrestling, you can say he's the John Cena. You can say he's the Steve Austin. You can say, he is just, and not in personality-wise, but I mean, recognizability, pure love, and elevation of the company that he's the head of with the belt.
Yep.
He's just it.
Yeah.
And it's just what it is.
It's true, man. It is what it is.
Ospreay was very good in this match. He's been very good in this tournament. He's taking the steps to modify my opinion of his in-ring work. He still pet peeves me on some of his stuff. It's fine. I don't have to perfectly love every wrestler.
No, of course you don't.
It's what it is. But in this tournament, he looked fantastic.
Yeah.
And this is the match.
I said instant classic.
Yeah.
This is going to be up there with a lot of G1 finals, I think.
Sure.
You're going to look back over the years and you're going to point at this and go, yep.
And I think we had talked about this a bit, about what they set up for Wrestle Kingdom, because there's a lot of speculation about AEW's involvement.
Well, and the big thing was, we were under the operating idea when we were texting the other day that Wrestle Kingdom was going to be 2 days.
Right.
And it is not. It's back to 1 day.
Which I think is a good decision.
Good decision.
But crazy. The good decision part of it is that every match is going to be a fucking absolute banger.
It has to be.
But the okay is that, you can't do as much crazy shit because you only have one show to do everything.
Which I hope they make New Year's Dash important again.
Right, I hope so.
Because the last couple of years has been kind of lacking with that was always the big surprise, you know? It's been kind of lacking.
But you put money on Ospreay on Wrestle Kingdom wrestling someone big from AEW.
Yeah, and we were talking the other day.
I can give you 5 names that would tear the house down.
I think the obvious is Omega.
Omega, Danielson, Mox, Jericho even. I don't want to see it, but like Jericho's ego, and he would still pull some names there.
There was the report that it actually came out this week that there's planning on like the AEW involvement in Wrestle Kingdom. I don't think it's going to be like an AEW versus New Japan type deal. I really
match
don't.
Or two.
But I could see some of the candidates. Punk, get that Punk Tanahashi match. Right. Danielson, Moxley, Jericho,
and
Omega,
it's interesting because we were saying if Okada loses
Cassidy,
here,
Tanahashi wants him there.
Right. If Okada lost here, then that means Okada's facing Danielson or Punk or somebody. But and listen, that briefcase can still change hands, and they can figure that out.
They can't.
But I don't think they're going to. It can, but they won't. No. But yeah, now it's just New Japan building to Wrestle Kingdom. That's how their year works.
Yes.
The first half is fallout from Wrestle Kingdom. The G1 happens, and it's building back to Wrestle Kingdom, which is what it is.
Yeah, like you have your New Japan Cups, you have your Dominion, which Dominion's like their second biggest show. It's like their SummerSlam, sort of, I guess you could say. So to give you some questions here about this G1.
Yes.
For you, who is this year's MVP in the G1?
MVP, it's got to be Ospreay, right? He delivered on pretty much every level. I still think he does some silly stuff in some of the lower profile matches that I'm like, you don't need to be doing that. And I'm not talking about like his flippy shit and whatever. Like that's fine. He can do all that shit, and I don't have a problem with him being, keeping his cruiserweight style as a heavyweight. That doesn't bother me.
No,
I just think sometimes in his brain he's like, this would be cool. Outweighs this would make sense here and there. But as a guy who was established, who everyone was waiting to prove that next step was possible, I think it's Ospreay.
I'm with you on that. I agree. I do agree.
It's just what it is.
I think he was the MVP of this tournament. Yeah. I really do.
And Okada and JY, we expect the sort of stuff we got out of them. But yeah, it's got to be Ospreay.
On the flip side, who is your least valuable player in this tournament?
Who I think was the least valuable, or who does New Japan think was the least valuable?
Who you think is least valuable?
Chase Owens is an absolute bag of shit and had no right in this tournament. But clearly New Japan is done with Ishii.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
My least valuable player was also Chase Owens.
Yeah.
I have zero interest in anything that guy does. He actively dragged down the commentary.
Yep.
He sucks.
Right.
Even the tag match I saw him this morning, he fucking sucked. He's a bag of shit. He doesn't take. He's just like a guy that doesn't take it seriously at all.
Meltzer gave it like 4.25 or something.
It's just not for me.
No, it's a bag of shit. Has no place in this tournament, honestly.
I was kind of like trying to structure it as like league end, like sports awards or whatever.
Sure.
Most improved.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. See, this is hard because I don't know what your other questions are going to be.
Laying it out.
Most improved would so that usually goes from someone who we saw last time and how they developed this time. So there's some guys who this is their first time in, and I don't know if they can necessarily win that. But I'm going to save what I would say for. I'm going to assume you ask me breakout star.
Yeah, we can do that. Breakout. Yeah, that's fine.
But most improved. Oh man, that's a tough one. The person who had. Oh man, the guy who had the most unexpected best matches, like better matches that I didn't think could do the things that he did in this tournament, which is how I'm going to go with this, is David Finlay.
Same.
Same. Because we've seen Finlay before in these situations.
I've had zero fucking interest in David Finlay.
And he has had a handful of really good matches in this tournament.
The three he had against Juice and Ospreay
and ELP
were all great.
Yep.
Rookie of the tournament.
So this is why I went Finlay here. There are a ton of names that you can put. Jonah beating Okada is huge. Hinare having not points wise, but a good breakout G1, very surprising. It's ELP, man.
Yeah.
That dude. Everybody better watch their
fucking brain linked here.
Everybody better watch their asses. Because, and again, is it 100% accurate? Because we didn't watch every single match going through.
No.
But ELP and the stuff that I saw, and like the connection with the crowd and the charisma, and putting it together as a heavyweight for the first time, that dude. I don't know what you do. I don't know if he leaves the fucking Bullet Club and becomes a baby face somewhere. I have no idea. But he's smooth. He connects with that crowd, and he's going to have a really fucking good career there. And that's a dude I didn't give a shit about a year ago. So
same.
Yeah.
Jeez, every really fucking answer's been the same.
He looked really good.
All right. So that was like the questions that I had about that. Next year, do you think there's going to be more AEW involvement as things have now opened up?
You mean
barring
like travel and stuff opening up?
Yes, traveling open up, barring injuries.
Yeah. So
because you can't predict that.
I think this year you would have had more AEW involvement if Kenny wasn't out, and
Punk and Danielson
and Eddie for that little while. I think you would have. I think AEW can sacrifice some of their bigger name talents.
Well, there was the talk that it was going to be Danielson in it too.
Right. But you can sacrifice some of your bigger name talents when everyone is healthy. Having Kenny Omega at the top of a card is a really big step into allowing some looseness with the rest of your roster, right? So I hope next year they do more. But there's a long time until next year.
A lot of shit can happen.
We don't know what that relationship is going to be.
Yeah.
We don't know who's going to be where. But I would hope so.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think there will be any other outside talent coming in from other companies to the G1? Such as somebody from Noah or somebody from DDT? Because they've done it before.
They have done it
Go
before.
Shiizaki's been in it.
Right.
Marufuji's been in it.
From a personal standpoint, if somebody doesn't start doing something important with Takeshita, you're fucking fools. And I know WWE has shown interest, and Takeshita said no, thank you.
Yeah, I know he said he wants to come back to the States in October.
But honestly, if Noah and Kojima's in the N1 right now, which we'll talk about. If I'm New Japan and I want the best G1 I can possibly do, and I am filling it out with the Chase Owens and Yujiros of the world, I would gladly welcome Nakajima into my G1.
Masakita Miya.
Kitamiya, let those guys have fun. They don't have to win a ton.
No,
it's fine. You can you could do Archer, have them stand up and do okay. But yeah, you'd be dumb not to.
All right.
Yeah. Ideally a G1 for me, and I know how hard it is because somebody's got to lose, and sadly Ishii gets. I'm always that's gonna be a sticking point for me. Somebody's got to lose, right? Not everybody can finish with 6 points. No. Somebody's gonna need 2. Somebody's gonna need 4. But ideally, if you can get a G1 that is nothing but fucking stars, how great of a G1.
Stack that motherfucker.
But who do you have lose, and so on and so forth. The politics, it's all really hard. But I would love some guys. Noah has some fucking killers that might be a little wasted in Noah.
Maybe more on that later.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to stick with the 4-block format or go back to just the A and B block?
I hope they don't do 4-block again.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it.
I think if
just add extra bodies into the blocks.
Right.
That's all.
If there's a lot of AEW involvement, maybe they do 4 blocks again. But maybe just do an AEW guy in each block. Next, do 2 blocks. I think that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's the way I like it. And this was fine, but again, Chase Owens is a waste of time in this stuff. Yujiro, sadly, is a waste of time in a lot of this stuff. And then when it's this, you also while he is having good matches, like Shingo never felt like a threat.
No.
Juice Robinson only got 4 points. So like, Evil can get the fuck out of here. I can cut. Bad Luck Fale doesn't need to be in these tournaments again. I can easily cut 6 guys out of this.
Yano, I don't need it anymore.
I don't need him anymore. We know what he's doing. We always tell somebody's gonna get Yano'd, and it's funny.
Yeah,
but I don't need it. We're good. We've seen it.
Need it. Yeah,
we've seen it.
Yeah,
we're good.
They gave us a great meme with Moxley, but other than that, I'm good now.
Right. I can cut 1 or 2 from almost from every block.
Yeah,
and so that's 4 to 8, 6 to 8 people I can easily cut out of here, and the blocks lay out exactly the same. Combine it into 2, and we're good to go.
I agree.
Yeah.
So the last thing I'll ask you about it. What were your top 3 matches?
Okay.
And you can give any honorable mentions if you want as well.
Okay. We're talking whole tournament?
Whole tournament.
Straight through the finals?
Yeah.
Okay. My number 1 is Okada Ospreay. It's the finals. It's supposed to be. If it wasn't the best match in the whole tournament, you have a problem with how you booked this thing. It's just what it is. It's a classic. Instantly. Should open some eyes for people who maybe don't like. And I know Ospreay's not a likable human being. Just try and remove yourself from that and watch his work. That's what I have to do, and I'm fine with it. It was a really good match. The other matches I have on here, my number 2, and while I loved the semifinal with Naito and Ospreay, because he's in the number 1 position, I was like, the match is great, but I'm gonna give some other guys some love.
This is your top
3. Tanahashi Hiroki Goto at number 2.
Okay.
I think this was the best match for both of these guys in this tournament. I think it was the most old school Tanahashi we've seen. They told a really good story. They have that Tanahashi breaking Goto's jaw from years ago. Kind of like they teased that a little bit.
Bloody in his mouth up again.
So I really like this match. Goto's my guy. Underutilized. This might be the last. Did Tana say this is his last G1?
Nope. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it isn't, that's fine. But if it is, he's had some pretty good matches, and this one was awesome. My number 3 is from early in the tournament. Jay White, Tomohiro Ishii.
Okay.
Just the best at what both of these guys do. Jay White and Ishii are good competitors for each other. They have, they always show up doing pretty well. Just like Ishii and Omega always had great matches.
They just have great chemistry.
Ishii's my guy, even though shitty points. He always delivered. He carried Chase Owens to a good match. Ishii's the dude. Always Mr. G1, even though they don't give a shit about him. I love that one. And honorable mention, I have it ranked here at number 4, just in case I couldn't pick the finals, is El Phantasmo versus Ospreay.
Okay.
I thought that match was great, and sort of seeing Ospreay elevate himself. This was really early in the tournament, but like not knowing what Ospreay we were going to get, but knowing the narrative was he's trying to elevate himself and be taken seriously in this division. And then you see a guy like ELP who is very much like Ospreay of 2 years ago.
That's a great comparison. Yeah.
Sort of, seeing and
the junior, like the junior guy who is ready to get out of junior,
right? But is also kind of a dick, and most people don't like him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my honorable mention because it was really good. There's a ton of great matches in this G1. It's very hard to name my top 3 because the matches, the people in this match that you look at and who are good professional wrestlers put on good fucking matches.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like, I have my style. I know who, when I saw the matchups, I know I go, this is who I'm going to watch no matter what.
For sure.
And hey, I watched some surprises, with like Yoshihashi. I expected nothing out of David Finlay, and he was good.
Right.
So I have 2 honorable mentions.
Okay.
From night 13, I have Jonah versus Okada.
It's a really good match.
Jonah, this is where he really looked like a monster. Okada made him look like a monster.
Yes.
That crowd absolutely gasping when Jonah hit the splash off the top was like a holy shit moment. And when the 3 count was even more of a holy shit moment.
Yeah.
And it was almost like I was like proud of Jonah for some weird fucking reason. Because I didn't, before that, we said his first 2 tournament matches sucked.
Yep.
Then he had the Cobb match and you go, okay, there it is. But then this one, you go, whoa.
Yeah.
I get it. I totally get it now. I understand Jonah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people talked about the Cobb match because it's two giant guys, two Haas fight guys. But this is the better match for sure.
My other honorable mention, this is we're going all the way back to night 4.
Okay.
Was Switchblade Ishii.
Yeah, it's great.
Great chemistry together.
They always do. Yeah.
The story where Switchblade has never beaten Ishii.
Right.
Finally gets that win over Ishii. I hate seeing Ishii staring up at the lights, but it's a Switchblade and it's his fucking time right now.
Right. The only consolation in Ishii losing is that he doesn't have a bad match.
No.
So none. It goes out, but he's always great.
Yeah. So my number 3 match, this was from night 12.
Okay.
Was Shingo Ospreay.
Great match. Thought about it. Thought about putting it on there.
Dudes do nothing but have just bangers.
Right.
I don't think they're capable of having a bad match. I like that they both came up from the junior division, even though Shingo was always debatable being a junior,
Yeah, he's only a junior because he's short.
Yeah.
Because, there'd be some other wrestlers that would have been considered juniors all the time anyway.
Yeah. But, these two, it was it's just nonstop.
Yeah.
Nonstop action. They know each other's counters to their counters, like that famous shit.
Yeah.
So this would be my number 3.
Okay.
My number 2 is Naito Ospreay.
Right. Okay.
Just because
Ospreay in your top 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the MVP for me, dude. It's just I don't know. It's
definitely I'm in the main event now and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't deny it anymore. There's nothing I understand he has the US championship. He's gonna drop that soon.
Yeah.
Or have him elevate the shit out of it. I don't know because it's
tough.
He belongs there with Okada and Switchblade and it's just
I wouldn't be surprised.
You can't deny it. You can't deny him anymore.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just vacates it.
He'll put somebody over,
or if he loses.
Finley, because the post match, I don't know if you saw Finley came up and choked him and shit, and was just
right,
you ain't gonna have a pity party for yourself. I've been doing it for myself for fucking years. Get ready.
Yeah. It's tough to take a guy who elevated himself this much in the G1 and
watch him get pinned.
Was a half a count away from winning
multiple,
and then is clearly going to be angling for the world title. To lose a title, and I know wrestling, that's how it works. You lose the Intercontinental title to challenge for the world. You just got to see, maybe since he's coming to AEW, maybe something happens there and he drops it to an AEW guy.
And he could.
You could do it there. They'll be more open to fuck finishes than Japan is.
Yeah.
And then Ospreay can just sort of be like, I'm out. I'm going to Japan because that's where they treat me right. So
yeah. And during this tournament, if you're making the crowd come alive, I always give you that little extra boost.
Sure.
And then number 1, Okada Ospreay.
If it wasn't, there'd be something wrong.
What a classic, man! Yeah. It's just I'm probably gonna go back and watch it again just because, man, that end sequence was crazy with the Cobra Flosion and oh my god, it was so good. And I'll tell you what, shout out to fucking Kevin Kelly and Chris Charlton.
Yeah.
Those dudes kill it on commentary together.
Kevin Kelly had to carry the bag of shit that is Chase Owens through a whole night.
Mad, dude.
I'd have been pissed off.
I liked when he was teamed up with Archer.
Yeah, Archer did all right.
When he was teamed up with
ELP did great.
With ELP.
Yeah.
Great.
So
that's
ELP comes very close to being my MVP of this tournament if it wasn't his first tournament. That dude really did really good all around.
Yeah, man.
Chase Owens is a bag of shit, though.
Yeah, he fucking
dude. There's not a single. I don't understand how he makes money professional wrestling.
I don't get it. I'm with you. He's so bad. But that's the end of the G1.
That is the end of the G1.
So
it only took us an hour to cover it.
Yeah, it was going to be a while.
Right.
You know that.
It's a lot of wrestling.
A lot of wrestling this week. What a fucking tournament, though.
Great G1 overall.
I'm excited to hear if anybody else has to say. I need to talk to Tim about it.
Yeah.
Dwicky, I know he's on vacay right now, so he's living life. But man.
I really
Howard the Dave.
I think he's been keeping up to date.
Yeah,
because his boys at the Never Open Pod have been. Yeah. So
oof, what a tournament, though, man!
Crazy tournament. So good that really good wrestlers were left in the dirt a little bit, and Shingo sort of great 6 points. look good in his matches. Kenta didn't do much.
No.
Naito didn't do much till the end.
No, yeah,
him
losing those top West when he lost his first three, I go, he's going to win out.
Right. Sonata, obviously, we
didn't really talk about Zack Sabre Jr.
Right, we didn't talk about Sabre Jr.
Great
Juice is one of the hottest wrestlers coming into this thing. He didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, rock hard. It's really crazy. There's some people in here that they have, the crowd really got behind Tom Lawler when he was in his matches. He doesn't do it for me.
That's like a guy that
the crowd likes him.
The crowd likes him, but that's like a guy that just kind of got left behind.
Right.
I feel
right. It's
I watched one match, him and Okada.
Right. And Hanare, a guy who had some really great matches, a bit of a coming out party for him, had 2 points.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's but it's a really good G1. Really great matches across the board.
Yeah. I'm like, I already can't wait for next year.
Yeah,
I love it. It's my favorite. My favorite time of the year watching wrestling.
Yeah, it's the most.
It
fun.
Always is. It always
really
has
is
been.
the most fun. So
yeah.
So
I guess I'll stick in Japan.
Okay.
I know you didn't really watch a lot, but we are going to be watching this moving forward the rest of their tournament.
We're talking about the N1?
The Noah N1 tournament.
All right, I watched 4 matches.
I watched a lot more.
You did.
I did.
You watched 8.
I feel like
I
did, yeah.
Staying up, adjusting my sleep schedule to get up early messed everything up because then I was crashing at night really hard. And I was like, I know we said it, but we'll get caught up because it did overlap. It was only a couple nights. And then I saw the Kojima stuff happening and I was like, okay, I do want to watch that. And then you messaged about it and we hadn't really talked about it at all. So I was like, oh, maybe he's not watching them either.
Oh no.
And then you were. Yeah. So I got in there and watched some last night.
I'm just going to give some standouts. I'm not going to go too into them, especially because you didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Night 1, Katsuhiko Nakajima versus Masaki Tamiya.
I watched it.
You watched this from night 1?
Sure did.
Really?
I watched you when
you sly boots.
When you told me that you watched. You sent me the list of what you watched. Yeah. Last night I watched 4 N1 matches, so we had something to talk about.
Oh, all right. What'd you think of it?
I mean, Masa's my guy.
Masa's awesome.
And Nakajima, again, is a menace.
Those kicks terrify me.
Right. So, the opening of this match is, I imagine, before they went out, they just went and said, so I'm just going to try and kill you, right? And then he's like, well, I'm going to try and kill you, so you should probably try and kill me. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's what they do. Masa hits a lariat immediately and kills Nakajima.
That was if he would have got a 1, 2, 3 off that, I would have this is the best match of this tournament.
Right. And then Nakajima gets up and side suplex head dumps Masaki Tamiya.
Those are the first 2 moves of the match.
Right, the first 2 moves of the match. Nakajima strikes a ton like Kenta does. He has very similar movements, but all of his kicks sound like remember when people used to make fun of 80s and 90s action movies when Jean-Claude Van Damme would kick somebody and it would sound like a shotgun, or Steven Seagal would do a move and it would be
Yep.
Nakajima's kicks sound like that for real.
Yeah, you can hear his legs traveling through the air.
Yeah, it's insane. And then when they land, they sound like gun blasts. But if I was a pro wrestler, and I'm not, but if I was a pro wrestler, I would be a Hoska. It's just in my nature.
You'd be Masaki Tamiya.
I love Masaki Tamiya with all my heart.
I love when he hits the senton.
Yes, just like his hero, Masa Saito.
Damn right.
And this another move he took from him, the prison lock.
Yeah,
the prison lock is a sitting figure 4. It's he sits out and it's not pressure over the ankle, it's pressure over the shin
while you flex.
Right. And you leave your arms open for you to beat the shit out of the guy that you have in the figure 4. Yep. Fantastic.
I agree.
I love that move. I love this match. Masaki Tamiya is my guy.
Yeah.
But Nakajima is he's one of those dudes that he's at the top of Noah rightfully. But really should be somewhere else. And I love Noah. I'm happy we're watching it.
But
they lost all their momentum.
He should be somewhere else.
One of the things that I'll say about Noah that I will bring up again when we talk about another promotion that you and I watched this week.
Oh.
Noah knows how to light their shows because these aren't big crowds.
No.
These are small fucking crowds.
They're particular on night 2 I'm going to talk.
But this is a big this is a big the N1
couple hundred.
Yeah, it's only a couple years old them doing the N1. It's a round robin G1 style tournament. They know how to light their crowds because, like, this is a smaller crowd than was, like, in Philly for the New Japan house shows.
Yeah.
And these are big shows for them. But they know how to light it so that you can't really tell. So that's really smart. But, like, the beginning of the year, these guys were like, well, they're going to take over.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
They had all the momentum in the world, and it's
right.
way to let fart.
Because of that.
Way to let fart. That's what I just said. They wet fart.
I think Nakajima is a guy that, man, I don't want to say anybody leave Noah because I remember when Noah was formed and I'm just like, yeah, Noah, ha, fuck you, Makoto, but I'm like, man, I want Nakajima regularly in the Tokyo Dome with 20,000 people cheering for him, you know, and I don't, he's not going to get that in Noah, but he's fucking incredible.
I agree.
So
the next match I watched from this was Kazuyuki Fujita versus Go Shiozaki.
Okay, I didn't watch anything until the 17th last night, so go ahead.
Fujita beat Go Shiozaki.
Of course he did.
Fujita looks great. He
lost a lot of weight. I did watch a Fujita match.
He's fucking
not this
tan.
one.
He's got a beard.
Right. He's got
Scott Norton power singlet.
He's got the power gut singlet,
he looks
which is
like
important.
He's taking it fucking serious.
Right. His legs are still fucking shot.
Yeah, well, yes.
But he lost enough weight and got in enough shape that he's no longer like holding on to the top rope to stay upright.
He looks good.
Which just 3 months ago he looked like he was falling over.
A big gut on him. Like, no, he looks awesome.
He looked like Shrek.
Yeah.
He looks like a slightly smaller version of Shrek because his head is still huge and round. But yeah, I didn't watch this match, but Fujita does look better for sure.
So night 2, I watched Masa Kitamiya versus Kaito Kiyomiya.
Okay.
Kiyomiya, you know, really has a lot of momentum. Beat Keiji Muto.
Yes, young guy, youngest guy to ever hold the GHC.
Getting the moves passed down to him.
Kiyomiya versus Kitamiya.
I know, it's very tough. But
Kiyomiya is the smaller, faster guy.
Yeah.
Kitamiya is the hoss who tries to be Masa Saito.
Yes. So the match was good. Kiyomiya wins.
Okay.
This was fucking depressing, though.
Yeah.
This was in like a gymnasium. Not dark at all.
Yeah.
Even for like the clap crowd, it was real quiet.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is sad. Like, this hurts my heart.
Yeah.
You know, like, just, ugh. I was actually like so I feel like when Kiyomiya was walking back through the curtain, he actually looked like dejected.
I could, listen, I could spend a whole podcast talking about what Noah has done in the last 8 months that has shit-canned their momentum.
Absolutely.
And thankfully, nature has a way of working out some of those issues on their own, i.e. scumbags are going to scumbag and shoplift and then go home and be like, I didn't shoplift. I got a flight and no contract because all my family died. But they've made some boneheaded fucking decisions.
Real bad.
They've brought in some wrong fucking people. And they, for the last 2 or 3 months, were featuring the wrong fucking people. Fujita as on the main title.
Mistake.
Trying to push Muto into a place where he doesn't belong anymore, sadly. They made some fucking mistakes and lost the momentum. And there's enough going on in Japan. And also, like, this tournament's also overlapping and up head-to-head with the G1, which is a boneheaded fucking idea.
I would have started it today. Today would have been my first day.
In January or December 30th of last year, Noah has a giant chalkboard that they're going to write the year's plans on. I can 100% see, like, we're at the fucking Dome for our New Year's show.
Sure.
It's the first show of the year. It's before Wrestle Kingdom. It's going to be fucking great. The crowd's going to be hot. Everything's going to look amazing. And they're like, January 1st happens, and they're like, holy shit, did you see this? All right, let's get on the board.
Yep.
And they're like,
the Wrestle Kingdom show with New Japan.
Right. We're crossing over. Yeah. Everything's looking awesome. Let's do this and this. And you know what? We're going to have momentum through the year. Let's see what happens head-to-head with the G1. Yeah. And they're like, look, we just got out of the fucking Dome. Everything looks great. But then as the year progresses, we're like, maybe we bump that a week. Just
push it off.
And it suffers. We'll see what the shows look like this following week. Yeah. Because it is what we're going to be covering still. We'll see what happens there because there's no New Japan really to go
not
to.
For a while now.
So we'll see. But it's been these have been embarrassing crowds.
Very. Night 3, I watched Kaito Kiyomiya versus Katsuhiko Nakajima. Did you watch that?
I did not.
Okay. Kiyomiya wins.
Okay.
He beats Nakajima.
Okay.
Which,
wow.
hey, you're positioning your young guys. Nothing wrong with that.
They love him. He's held the title. He's
Yeah.
super fucking young, handsome, everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Main event was Masato Tanaka
Yes.
versus Keno.
Okay.
Did you watch
I
this?
did not.
Masato Tanaka beats Keno.
Wow, Keno's champ.
Yeah.
So does Noah have the you get a title shot rule?
I would hope.
I would hope
right?
so, right?
I mean, listen, Masato Tanaka looks fucking great for his age,
Absolutely.
no doubt.
Looks great for anyone's age.
Should he be beating your
No.
champ in a... probably not.
No. Did you watch any Anthony Green matches?
No.
I'm glad that he's there. Good for him.
Good for him being
I
there.
ain't going to put
That's
any
cool.
eyes on anything, but good
I
for
certainly
him.
did not watch any Jack Morris match.
I don't know who that is.
He beat Kiyomiya on the first night, and people were like, what the fuck is
Where's
that
he from?
about?
Who is he?
I think Wales.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's bad enough I have to listen to fucking
Okay.
douchebag Pickering on commentary.
Yeah.
Like this, and he
It's
sounds like a fucking nerd.
interesting. Like Anthony Green, good for him. Not getting any eyes on anybody. It's super weird. Also, completely sidebar, but like Joey Janela won the hardcore title in DDT.
Yeah.
Super weird.
Sure, yeah.
Whatever. But I don't think these guys are breaking down the walls to international viewership like they told you they were.
No.
But Anthony,
I think they sold you on that.
Anthony Green seems like a perfectly nice guy.
Yeah, good for him.
Good for him. Got the Raw deal in WWE and NXT. Looks like I don't know anything about him, but looks like a perfectly nice guy.
Sure.
Sure, he's decent enough in the ring. But when you have a tournament that has like Keno and Go Shiozaki and Masato Tanaka in it,
yeah,
maybe you're a little. Maybe the guy who puts out
swimming in the deep water, brother.
How to talk Kazarni videos on YouTube like he does. I don't know if you saw that. He got featured as the only wrestler left who speaks Kazarni fluently, and he gave examples of how to speak Kazarni. And he did like full sentences and everything. And I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah,
but he seems like a nice guy.
Not into it, bro.
Yeah.
So night 4.
Okay. Yesterday morning?
Yeah.
The 17th.
Satoshi Kojima versus Masaki Kitamiya.
Yes, I watched.
I knew you were going to watch that.
Yes.
Kojima is the fucking man, and I just have to say 2 words.
Yeah.
Kojima lariat.
Right. Exactly. He still has that lariat.
He fucking killed him.
And that was my only
lariat.
note from this. So, like, I love Kitamiya. He's probably my favorite. Like, he's my guy. Like, I understand he's not the best there. Like, he's really good, but like, he's not. Like,
he's young.
You're right. Keno's better, and Nakajima's amazing, and Go Shiozaki's still probably the best wrestler on the planet. But Kojima still has that lariat, man. And Kitamiya is a big boy.
He caught all of that fucking lariat.
It was a proper Western.
It put him down.
Right. It was a proper Western because it was above the collarbone but below the nose.
Yep. Right to the throat.
And that's my only note for this match is Kojima still has that lariat, huh?
I love when he hit it and he pinned him and he looked like, I just fucking
got it.
That.
I still got it.
Yeah.
He's a dude. I'm so happy he's here because he's not treated. And I think that's like why these guys, like why Nagata's in All Japan right now. These guys aren't being treated well in New Japan.
Well,
and they're old. They're in their 50s.
They're old. It is what it is.
But there's no reason why a guy like Kojima, who is in fantastic shape, who's a bigger guy, who seemingly doesn't have any mobility issues, and Nagata doesn't have it either, but it's a little harder because Nagata's a smaller guy, but like Kojima should be on a Tenru like old man run, and this is the place for it.
And I've said to you, those two along with Tenzan and Nakanishi,
yes,
suffered from Enochiism.
Absolutely.
It killed them. They're legends in their own right. Yes. They should be bigger.
Right.
That generation just suffered because of it.
Right.
So
speaking of Enochiism,
are you talking about Nakajima versus Takashi Sugiura?
No, I'm talking Fujita versus Hideki Suzuki. But if you watched the match before that,
I didn't watch that.
Okay, I watched it because somebody online was like, "This is strong style at its absolute finest."
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it wasn't.
It absolutely wasn't. Listen, Fujita was moving.
I'm happy he got in shape.
Was moving faster. His reversals were really quick. He had some snap to his movements.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great for him. He's got the power gut singlet again, which I love. I'm glad he's putting in the work, and he beats Hideki Suzuki here. But this is Enochiism, like strong style in quotes. And I'm a Kings Road guy more than a strong style guy. But This is amateur wrestling holds that then becomes throws into a finish. I don't love it. I've seen there's matches I like in the style that I fucking love,
sure,
but not from either of these guys.
At this point in both.
Not
in
this point in both of their lives. Hideki Suzuki, Fuji, whatever. It existed. It's fine.
So you did not watch Nakajima Segura?
I did not. I skipped it.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Nakajima got the win.
Okay.
Nakajima kicks him in his fucking face.
Yeah.
For the finish.
Nice.
Just high kick.
Yeah.
Right to the face. And Segura crumbled, and that was it.
I wish I had watched it because I wasted time on that.
I'm sad.
Match. People online said it was like this great strong style, and I was like, "All right, let me see what."
Are you going to trust people online, or are you going to trust me?
Well, yeah, you're right.
You son of a bitch!
I know. Ed from Pod Van Dam. I know how much Ed from Pod Van Dam loves Hideki Suzuki, so I watched that. Because he hates him.
Right answer.
Because he remember when he was in NXT. He was
Hachi Man?
Hachi Man.
How could I forget that run?
Hachi Man.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, good for you. But I did watch Keno versus Go Shiozaki.
Good, because so did I.
Yeah.
Dude, Go Shiozaki's chops terrify me.
They're
when
disgusting.
He just dropped Keno with the one, it was gross.
Mm-hmm.
Then there were the chop kick battle.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
Yeah.
These two together, I will watch them every time. Keno wins.
Nakajima does this too, and Keno might do it a little bit better, maybe not, because Keno's not as much of a threat not as much of a menace as Nakajima is. But there's a point in both of their matches where like the match seemingly stops, and the crowd knows that it's going to stop because it just becomes, all right, we did a bunch of wrestling. Yeah. Let's see who can hit each other harder.
Time to actually beat each other
and not
up.
in like bring out a folding chair and do the Necro Butcher like punch thing. It's just like, no, I'm gonna try and cave in your chest with my chops, and then you try and cave in my chest with your kicks, and we'll see who's left standing. It happens every time.
It's real.
A hush fills the room, and it's awesome.
A hush fills the room.
And Keno has Go completely passed out from a choke at the end of this match.
Okay. I hated that.
And he lets Go to do the double stomp?
That.
Yeah?
I hated it.
Why?
He's finished.
The referee could have stopped it.
And I forgot to mention, there was a match earlier in the tournament with Kiyomiya and Nakajima.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Like, Kiyomiya's out.
Yeah.
And Nakajima just let it go. I hate that.
Well,
you're done. The match is over.
Right, but they're bad guys, so they want to rub it in.
Yeah, but like, what's the ultimate goal?
To be a prick.
Win the match.
Listen, I spent a lot of my life being a prick for being a prick's sake, and I gotta say, it feels kind of nice
sometimes.
Spent
a lot of your life?
Listen, I
still spend?
Excuse me, sir. I am a much better human than I was.
Oh, okay.
Even 5 years ago.
Sure.
So
I know the dark side.
You do know the dark side. And sometimes being a prick for being a prick's sake.
Dude is a dick.
Right.
As I tee.
But being a prick sometimes for the sake of being a prick is a lot of fun.
Feels good.
Is a lot of fun. I understand the harm that it can cause, and I try to reserve it for the right people.
But at the same time, fuck them.
Right, but at the same time, go fuck yourself. Yeah. Fuck them if they can't take a joke. But yeah, so
N1.
N1.
We'll be watching this moving on. The rest
we'll be back.
No watch list while this is going on.
No, because they also run like 8 tournament matches a fucking show.
See, though, I think there's only like 9 events.
Yeah,
so they've already done 4 nights.
Yeah, so I think it's 2 blocks. I think.
It's only A and B blocks.
Because they said on commentary last year was 4. This is 2 again. Yeah. I think everybody gets 7 matches, and everybody's through 3 at least already.
Yeah, and Nakajima, he's won it 2 years in a row.
Yeah. So not much. Couple more weeks.
That's it.
But I'm excited to sort of strap in.
Yeah,
see what
try to get
excited
about Noah.
I got a lot of catching up to do because I want to see Segura matches. I want to I want to see all these guys. So
yeah,
I want to watch Tanaka, and I want to see what Anthony Green does against the right opponent. And,
if something I see gets recommended, I'll watch. But I know who my guys and I know the matchups I'm going to watch. It is what it is. So,
and this was because it is a little smaller. Like, there's a lot of really cool marquee matchups in this thing, so we'll see what happens.
So, real quick, in the world of WWE,
yes,
I watched a couple things.
Okay.
Hey, Hit Row's back on SmackDown.
Oh, that happened this week? I'm so excited to talk about this.
Yep, they're back with no swerve, obviously.
Listen,
hey, you know what? Cousin Tahuti's bringing in a paycheck.
Exactly.
Baby. What up, baby boy?
That's my point that I wanted to say is as I fielded some texts this week about the returning Dollar King, and I've been known to defend Dollar King in the past, and I will continue to do so and say that while he will never be good, he could at least be entertaining in some way.
I never saw it. I don't like.
I see it. I think he will be middling at best, but I think he can fill a role in this thing.
Okay.
B-Fab should not be allowed to wrestle.
Remember that one match she had?
Absolutely terrible.
That's the most dog shit thing I've ever seen.
She is a looking superstar, and that's it. That's all. That's it. I'm sorry.
Valet.
That's what it is. She can talk, kind of.
That's it.
Fine with that. But I will not shit on Hit Row being brought back without swerve because Cousin Tahuti is getting a paycheck.
Doing my family proud.
And Cousin Tahuti is probably going to surprise some people. I think he has the charisma.
Got to have the guy who can work in the tag team.
And I think he could work.
Yep.
So I think he can fill, B-Fab and him can fill that swerve charisma role, and Cousin Tahuti can work. So let that, I will not shit on it because I genuinely am glad Cousin Tahuti's back.
Okay, I'll say this. A lot of big Van Halen with Gary Cherone vibes going on here. I'm just gonna point out the obvious here.
All right.
Okay. I guess we're gonna play the hits, but
yeah,
we all know who led that goddamn band.
Yeah.
And it wasn't any of that.
Right, just don't let him film anything in black and white with a stool in the middle of the room, and I think you're okay.
Jesus Christ almighty.
Gary Cherone.
Oh, Gary Cherone.
So I don't know what your second WWE thing is, but something that I will shit on is that it was reported that Brandy Rhodes made her return to the ring. And they promised us. Cody and her promised that she would not be involved in that capacity.
Mm-hmm. You believe Cody Rhodes?
I don't, because I've been told that the one thing that Bryan Danielson learned from Cody Rhodes is that he's an excellent liar.
Yep. And it feels good to lie.
It feels good to lie. Brandy Rhodes at some event, like not a house show or anything, but some like training thing, got in the ring to show people how it's done. Right.
What exactly is it?
I made that part up. I don't know why she got in the ring. She shouldn't be allowed to. But it did lead to a whole bunch of jokes on Twitter about
her getting the Nightmare Family back together.
Her showing up, being like, "Who told you this was open mic night?"
Oh, God.
So on and so forth. Because she doesn't have a trick, but she still uses the same one anyway. I hope to God, like, everybody's talking about how great the Triple H era is, putting Brandy Rhodes on television in a wrestling ring, and I don't know if it's going to happen, maybe it will, but having Brandy Rhodes return, if Brandy Rhodes wrestles on Raw or SmackDown, I want personal apologies from everyone who told me that Triple H knows what he's doing, and WWE's going to be better, because I don't give a shit what he does. If he puts Brandy Rhodes on television in a wrestling capacity, he's lost his fucking mind, and somebody's got to start digging up the dirt on him to get him out of there.
There was two other things from SmackDown.
Yeah.
There was a contract signing between Liv Morgan and Shayna Baszler, where Shayna Baszler was dressed like Quadruple H, and it made me giggle real hard.
Like vest and leather jacket?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dude, I was so happy when I
give me an ultimate edition of that.
I was like, oh, all right, Shayna.
That's for the title? That's Liv is champ and Shayna's challenging?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good.
Yeah.
I like them both. No problems with either. But honestly, I like Liv. Put the title on Baszler, and nobody's ever taken it off her. Give her
her NXT run.
Right.
Remember how she was a fucking animal in NXT?
Yes.
Give that to her.
Don't let her bite anybody. She was doing that bitey gimmick.
Yeah, but that wasn't in NXT.
Yeah, that's true. She was
that weird shit.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the main event of the night, was Walter versus Gunther.
Yeah.
Sorry, defending the Intercontinental title against Shinsuke Nakamura.
I saw them advertising that.
Dude, then they did the thing again where they ran a video package talking about the lineage of the Intercontinental title.
Weird.
Okay. Like, just building up how important it is.
Yeah. And how Honky Tonk Man's the greatest Intercontinental champion of all
time. They literally had the clip of him saying that in the promo. Yeah.
Yes. There was right. That's the only thing that Wayne Ferris hasn't lied about.
They showed, Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect,
Yeah.
Bret Hart, Shawn,
Nice.
even like later years like Randy Orton, Kofi, like
That's cool.
everybody with the Intercontinental title, like
Bring that shit back.
Warrior. I was like, this is how you fucking do this, and you make this shit important.
Absolutely.
And it was the main event, and it was really good.
Yeah.
And Gunther retained, but
Good.
like you're gonna give me Walter versus Shinsuke Nakamura on television? Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Absolutely, that's great.
That just I don't know, made me real happy. So, oh puppy,
yeah.
So, 2 things from Monday Night Raw that I watched: Drew McIntyre versus Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
They're letting Kevin Owens be Kevin Owens and being a
Good.
savage
I saw
again.
a lot of people complaining about that. Yeah,
I know. Oh my god. They had a good promo beforehand. Like, the whole like McIntyre's like, say we're fighters, say we're sports entertainers. What I see is 2 wrestlers standing in a wrestling ring, so let's freaking wrestle.
Okay.
And the match was real good. Like, it gave him a couple segments.
Yeah.
I was all about that.
Good.
And then the other match I watched from this, which ended up being real good too,
Mm-hmm.
was for the United States title, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles.
Nice.
That Drew match and Owens ended in DQ because the Usos came out and jumped McIntyre.
Okay.
But yeah, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles. They said it's never happened before.
Really?
Yeah.
Nowhere?
Because by the time Lashley was like an Impact, AJ was gone.
Yeah,
he
I guess
was
that's
over
true.
in Japan and then came WWE.
That's true.
So it's never
You
happened.
wouldn't think they'd be a good matchup because that's a big size difference.
You know what? It worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
Good.
Bobby
Lashley's good.
Yeah, he's a fucking like he's better than people think. I think he's very underrated and he wins.
Yeah.
He retains the title. So I thought that was real.
That's cool.
So the company you kind of referenced earlier, Impact Wrestling.
Okay.
I did watch 2 things on the actual show.
Okay.
Speedball Mike Bailey defended the X Division title against Rocky Romero.
Okay.
That match was a lot of fun. Speedball retains.
I think that guy's kind of a dork.
Speedball?
Yeah.
Didn't we like him earlier this year?
Yeah, I think he's a good wrestler.
Are you talking about outside of the ring?
Yeah, no, I'm not. Okay. I'm not making a reference to any personal relationship he might have. I don't know why I feel that way. I think maybe I don't know. I saw a clip of him.
Does he have a punchable face?
During like a seminar or something. Yeah, something like, I don't know. I'm like, this dude's a dork. But I mean, it's fine. He's still a really talented wrestler. I just, whatever.
I also watched because there was the contract signing between Josh Alexander and Alex Shelley. And more on that later. But the contract signing was real good. And there was no violence like normal.
No?
During the contract signing. Okay. So it was a nice, refreshing change of pace.
Yeah, nice.
So on Friday night, they ran their like, kind of like a little pay-per-view special. They do these every couple months. It was called Emergence.
Okay.
I watched 3 matches.
Okay, I watched 1.
Bandito versus Ray Horace.
Okay.
Bandito, they were branded as a AAA special attraction match. Bandito's first match in Impact. Give him Ray Horace. They're going to have a good match.
Is Bandito not Ring of Honor signed?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
No, which is, I mean, that's a choice.
Right.
And then the second match I watched was for the Impact Knockouts title. I think they still call it the Knockouts title.
Yep, I saw Jordan Grace tweeting how she's the KO champion. So
yes. Jordan Grace versus Mia Yim.
Okay.
I want to see Mia Yim because I haven't seen her since she's left.
Right.
Well, got fired, whatever. She has her confidence back.
Yeah,
she looks good.
Good.
She's not wrestling like big baggy pants anymore and like Timberlands. Like she's wearing her gear again. It was a good match, dude. I was like very surprised. And at the end, Masha Slamovich came out and like challenged Jordan Grace.
Really? She's an Impact?
Yeah, apparently she's undefeated and shit too.
Weird.
So, sure. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But really, what I wanted to talk about,
the
main event of this show, really
Moose versus sorry.
Fuck off with that.
Was Moose even on the show? I don't know.
I hope he's never there ever again.
Right.
If this was the only, I would have bought this show just for this match. This is how excited I was.
Did you check to see if they gave it away today before the real show or tomorrow?
No, because if they did, I'm writing Scott D'Amore and I'm going to be like, you piece of actual shit.
All right.
Josh Alexander.
He won't be that hard to find. We can stuff him in a trunk or something.
Oh, Jesus. Josh Alexander defending the world title against Alex Shelley.
Yeah. I watched this also.
Alex Shelley's first ever world title shot.
Is it really?
Yeah. And Impact never had a shot at the world title.
What? Listen, pro wrestling, let me talk to you for a second. Come here, pro wrestling. Take a seat, pro wrestling. What are we doing? What's going on in the world of pro wrestling here? Alex Shelley is too good for all of you, and frankly, you need to do better. This is a good step, though.
I kind of went down like an Alex Shelley rabbit hole a bit this weekend, and just forgetting how fucking good that guy is.
He's always been good,
and he's always been good.
Always,
like since the beginning of Impact when he was an X Division guy, obviously
Ring of Honor stuff.
Yeah, Ring of Honor, Paparazzi Productions, is just all time shit that is quoted by everyone we know. Motor City Machine Guns. One of the best, like, kind of junior-ish tag teams, I guess, ever.
Even Todd quoted the Motor City Machine Gun or the Paparazzi Productions this week.
Even he knows. Time Splitters with Kushida.
Right.
It's just now, like, the past, like, 2 years, he's been kind of on this, like, little bit of, like, a resurrection run, sort of, Yeah. Look at that match we got to see with him and Avery Good at LVAC.
I was thinking about that a lot today.
He was the independent champion for a while. Fuck, man. I'm so mad. I'm happy that, all right, let me say this. I'm happy there's Impact Wrestling for him. I think it's a good spot for him.
Yeah. I think they need to turn down their house lights, but
I want so much more for that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, here, Shelley.
I want the world for that guy.
Shelley is fantastic. Seems like, from everything I know about him, a very nice guy. Has been great for a really fucking long time, right? And so a lot of those guys of his generation are like, why did we ever leave? Because Davey Richards is back too, like doing indie stuff. Like a lot of those guys got a little like disenfranchised.
I think they went off and realized, okay, I think maybe I hit a plateau.
Right.
I need to either decide, am I going to keep doing this, or am I going to do the whole real job thing?
I think when they left, indie wrestling was really unstable.
Yes.
And now indie wrestling is booming, and now they have a place again. But Shelley is just... Shelley's the guy, man.
Yeah.
Just a dude I have endless amount of joy watching wrestle. He does everything well. In this match where he's being like a little bit of a dirtbag.
Love it.
Awesome. This match
he did the same thing against that match against Speedball Bailey, if you remember, back on WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah. And the one thing that I wish was, again, Impact needs to turn their fucking house lights down, because one of the biggest things, and this match is great, but like, I swear to God, there was a guy up against the entrance ramp asleep.
Probably, yeah.
And leaning up against the rail with his head on it.
Yep.
And there was a woman facing on hard the whole time. She's dead center, hard cam side, like opposite hard cam. So you see her during the whole match. She's on her fucking phone.
On her cell phone. Yep. Saw it.
And like the whole match, she's on her phone. And like, whatever, I'm at a wrestling show. I take pictures. I check shit, whatever.
But you're not just sitting there scrolling.
But like
Facebook.
A main event of this caliber, for as good of a wrestler as Alexander is, and a dude who's like, yo, put this belt on me and I'm going to get this company talked about. And then in a match with a guy like Shelley, who is great, always has been, and people are talking about again, she's on her fucking cell phone.
Yep.
I need better for both of these guys because of that. That is ludicrous to me. Like, when I saw this crowd, I was like, do they still just tape this at fucking, like, in Florida and just give tickets away to people in the streets?
Yeah.
And don't. Right, they don't.
The problem is they run these buildings, but they're all kind of set up the same.
Right. And just tone down that light your ring, like the way Noah did that first night. Light your ring bright, light your audience dark. It doesn't fucking matter who's in the stands then.
Yeah.
Because I was so infuriated at this fucking lady.
Yeah.
I don't love their commentary.
Aiden English sucks.
Aiden English sucks. And
Tom, what was it? Tom Phillips? He's okay.
I liked him in the WWE.
Yeah, he's okay.
But he doesn't have enough of a presence to control and guide Aiden English where he needs to be.
Yeah.
So I don't like that either. I think the crowd was quiet too. Like the crowd felt like a shitty indie where there was just like one guy clapping.
There's not many people there.
There's not, and it's like one or two people trying to get a chant started and then it dies. Trying to get the clap started and it dies. All that shit aside, this match fucking ruled.
So good, dude.
The crowd doesn't deserve this fucking match.
No, they don't.
They don't. This match was awesome.
Truthfully don't.
I haven't seen a ton of Alexander, and he looks super fucking impressive here. He has for a while. I just not a guy I'm super familiar with.
Yeah.
He kicks out of 2 fucking shell shocks, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And then his finisher is the J Driller.
Yeah.
But he does it
C4
fucking
spike.
he does it fucking great.
Yep.
And Alexander is a very good wrestler. Alex Shelley is a master.
Yeah, I really found myself just appreciating him so much more. Mm-hmm. I've always loved Alex Shelley, but man, and you really do look at it, and it's like, look at some of the guys that I don't want to say took from him.
No, they did,
but they took from
they
him.
Did. Absolutely,
and it's funny. You look at kind of how the dominoes fell. Jay White was his young boy.
Yeah,
right. He will come out and say, he goes, no, I'm here because of Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin.
Right.
That's...
Yeah.
And it's just...
and I know...
So much influence that guy's
Shelley, and that always... And we talked about it, I think, last week. Sometimes the best wrestlers never get a shot. It's not about being the best. We talked about it with the whole Gresham thing. It's not... A lot of times, most of the time, it's not about you being technically the better wrestler. Sometimes the best wrestler in the world never gets the look. It never gets a look at, and that's just what it is. Yeah. Or you're good enough and people steal everything from you before you get the look. We have fucking Beyond the Mat with Mike Modest.
Yep.
That they just standing back there watching, going, I'm going to take that, I'm going to take that, I'm going to take that. That's and we'll dismiss this guy because he's too short.
Yeah.
I think Shelley has it all. I think Shelley can be a star anywhere. I hope he ends up back in New Japan. I know he has built himself a career outside of wrestling and was sort of just being a weekend warrior again.
I saw a little thing on Impact tonight.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it next week.
Okay. But he's just one of the greats and a guy that I love watching so much.
Yeah, dude. Huge fan of Alex Shelley.
Yeah.
I was trying to buy an Alex Shelley action figure this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They made one shitty figure of him.
Yeah.
The head scan is
figure store company?
No.
Oh.
It was a TNA
Oh,
figure.
he got one in the TNA line?
The head scan is amazing.
It's at the long neck.
The body's so
those figures
real
are
bad.
rough.
But man, I really want one because I love that guy.
Yeah.
So all right, I guess we'll go AEW to
really quick, I watched Enjoy second episode.
How did you find the time?
I know, right? The second episode of the Enjoy Cup Tag Team Edition, really quick. Just because I do want to mention it, is watch Enjoy. It's on YouTube. Search Enjoy Wrestling. Ephemeral Babes versus Petty and Pink. Ephemeral Babes being Willow Nightingale, Edith Surreal. Petty and Pink being Kenzie Page, who is NWA Women's Tag Champ right now. We've seen her in AEW, I think. And Dylan McQueen. Match is good. One of the entrance, Petty and Pink's entrance is Dylan McQueen. Comes out and then twerks on stage while Kenzie Page stands over his shoulders, doing the wiggle, essentially. The big wiggle. It's hilarious. Good match. Ton of Edith Surreal stretching people in this match.
I'm always down for that.
So this was really good. Ephemeral Babes win, because of course they do. And the next match was the Production versus Kings of the District. The Production obviously is Derek Dillinger and Ziggy Haim.
Damn right.
Kings of the District, Eel O'Neill and Jordan Blade. We've seen Jordan Blade before. I like Eel O'Neill a lot. This was Jordan Blade, jiu-jitsu black belt, that sort of stuff. Tough, a very tough lady. Chucking people around. Zig and Dillinger taking big bumps to make Blade look like a killer. Good stuff. Next week is a 3-way. Trisha Dora, MV Young, and somebody else for the Enjoy title. We'll see how that all shakes out. I still like watching it. Just want to give the mention. I'm not going to get any more into these matches because we've talked for so long about everything else. But Enjoy is the lowest level thing either of us watched this week.
Yeah, maybe I'll pick that up this week when I kind of have time.
But they're fun if nothing else, and these were two pretty good matches.
Well, I'm glad that they were good.
But yes, let's all of the Quake by the Lake Rampage.
No, that Quake by the Lake was last week.
That was
Rampage.
Quake by the Lake Dynamite.
Did they call it Quake by the Lake?
They sure as hell did.
That's weird.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean we'll run through it.
Yes.
The Danielson Garcia promo was real good.
Mm-hmm.
Danielson just grabbing him by his fucking face like a goddamn mother was hilarious. Setting up their match, which we'll talk about later. Sammy Guevara, Mello.
I thought this was fun.
Going up against Dante Martin and Sky Blue. I agree. It was fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be fun, and it was fun.
Didn't expect anything to be like a great match, but it was cool. You don't really see... Because they're, where's Sammy and Ty, the mixed tag champs in AAA?
In AAA, yeah.
So, I'm always down for a mixed tag. You don't really see them a ton.
Yeah, I thought this was surprisingly fun.
Yeah. Parker Bordeaux, Sonny Kiss.
Parker Bordeaux's gonna be a mistake.
He's,
I said that last week. That's gonna stay forever. He does not look intimidating. He's not.
What a squish.
He should give his photographers fruit baskets for shooting him the right way to make him look bigger than he is. He makes bad faces when he's in the ring.
Whoever said he was the next Brock Lesnar,
right? You're
a fucking idiot.
You're full of shit. Right, because that's why there's a reason why NXT didn't even fucking debut him.
Yeah.
They were like, we got nothing here. He's going to be a mistake in AEW. They shouldn't have done it. I think they bring him in because of sort of like, hey, look what we got, you know? But he does, like, whenever he hits a big move, he does, like...
Dude, I was going to
so stupid. It's so bad.
He hits, like, the body block and just...
It's
shit.
so bad.
It's
so cheesy and
like
shitty.
The chest.
Right. He doesn't look intimidating.
So like, what are you doing?
He's not... obviously, he's in better shape than I'll ever be in, but, like, he's not in any kind of particular shape. Awful, not intimidating. He's going to be a big miss.
Yeah.
I am not fucking interested in this dude.
Stop
wasting TV time on him.
Not even a smidge.
He doesn't have it. I'm sorry. Prove me wrong. I will gladly allow you to prove me wrong. You don't fucking have it. And listen, WWE was in complete disarray. They're still all fucked up. NXT's a goddamn mess. There was a reason why they brought a guy in and hyped him as the next Brock Lesnar and then cut him without a camera ever seeing his face.
Yeah, I don't think did he ever work?
I don't think he. No, they never
debuted
him.
He was Joe Gacy's heater,
right? But they never.
That was it.
Right? They shaved his head and shit, and I don't think they ever had him work.
Yeah, weird.
He is going to be a mistake. He is a miss.
Yeah,
do not.
I agree.
It. Don't do it.
Then you had Gun Club Beardhausen.
Yes,
that was fun enough, I guess.
Yeah, Redbeard getting a paycheck.
Oh, I'm always happy to see that.
Right.
And I love how much after the match Billy Gunn hates his children.
Yes.
Danhausen doing the Danhausen shit. You know he's always going to get a pop. Right. You know what you're getting.
Right. Billy Gunn scolds his children after the win, and he gets him another match.
Yeah.
And Big Stoke is ringside with his
card. Hook.
Yeah, good. The Jersey Shore guy. That's people are really interested in that shit. And you wonder why Rampage's ratings are in the shitter. Like, I try my hardest to defend Rampage and be like, yeah, it's not supposed to be a good show.
I'm saying this right now.
Yeah.
This might have been the worst episode of Rampage.
It's definitely not. There was at least one good match, and they've run some more stinkers.
This was like
you want to. The ratings suck, but it's a death time slot, and I try and be a Rampage apologist.
Same,
but you're gonna get Hook after the FTW title. You haven't done fuck all with Starks or Hobbs in like a week and a half now. They do on Dynamite, but whatever. And you get Hook with the fucking Jersey Shore guy. Like people are gonna,
it's the reality, Zach Clayton.
Like people are gonna give a fuck. And I'll even say the dude wasn't bad on the mic.
It was fine.
But the crowd shit all the fuck over
I don't know who the fuck he is.
Right, nobody cares.
He's been a job guy on Darks.
Right, nobody cares. Either decide that you have confidence in Hook to start building him and give him legitimate matches, or keep him off TV till he's ready, because this ain't fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Given the job guys he's going to squash a promo on Rampage is a bad fucking decision, man.
Yeah.
It's real fucking dumb. Yeah. And if I was live in person, I'd shit on it too. Maybe literally.
Ugh. Don't shit your pants in Philly, please. And then Orange Cassidy, Ari Daivari.
Yes.
It's okay.
My favorite part of this match is before Mark Henry can say his stupid ass main event line. Oh yeah, Orange Cassidy tries to say it.
Yeah,
which is hilarious. Because that line fucking sucks.
Yeah. And
no matter how much Mark Henry is still trying to force it down our fucking throats, that it's time for the main event. It's fucking stupid, and it just
he literally signed a contract just to say that.
Right, it bumbles.
Remember
off
when
the
they
tongue.
tried to have him on Rampage as a commentator, and he fucking sucked.
Right, it was him in Big Show. Remember?
Well, they're like, get the
fucking
Dark Elevation needs you, brother.
Have you ever watched wrestling? OC's selling his ass off for Daivari in this match.
Yeah.
And then I let out a thank God afterwards because I thought OC was gonna be looking at the lights at the end of this match again. And I got real worried.
Nope, OC gets the win, and the big news is Sonny Kiss comes out and turns on OC and joins the Trustbusters.
Right,
eh?
and Parker does his weird shaking taunts again. It's
I wish
so
I could have a camera on you when you did that.
It's so bad.
Spot on.
It sucks, man.
Yo, what a fucking bullshit ragtag group we got.
Right.
Ari Daivari, Slim J,
right.
Parker Bordeaux, and now fucking Sonny Kiss.
Right, and Slim J's the only one that, well, Sonny Kiss now too, but honestly, if this gets Sonny Kiss on TV, I'm fine with it. I like Sonny a lot.
But what a fucking hodgepodge.
Right, but Sonny Kiss aside, the only marketable talent you have in your fucking group is Slim J.
And even,
don't put him on TV.
And even you're being nice there.
Don't put him on TV. God damn it. This is why this show does fucking 12 people on a Friday night. Like, this is why the only demo it hits is like the 92 to 108 demo. It's like, it doesn't fucking 12.
Dude, I saw somebody say, they're like, wait a fucking minute. You don't have time for how many people.
Right.
But you're going to shove the Trustbusters down our fucking throat.
Right. Like,
what are we
you
doing?
can make Rampage matter if you acted like you gave a shit about
Somebody
it.
said, they go, Samoa Joe hasn't been on AEW television since May 25th.
Right.
What are we doing here? Oh, God.
He's better than that. That's why.
So, I think we might have saw the last good Rampage in person.
We might have.
When it was Swerve Darby and then Joe Trent.
Oh, that was on a Rampage?
Yeah.
Woof. Wow.
Dude, what if we get real bad Rampage when we were in Philly? They can't afford to do it.
You cannot.
Listen,
Parker
Philadelphia will either A, leave.
Right. Parker Bordeaux will get hit with a D battery. He's gonna get in that ring and he's gonna do that fucking shake taunt and he's gonna leave that ring shaking from a seizure after he gets hit with a D battery in the fucking forehead.
I'll be chucking my Nike Air Max.
Right. Like, it's fucking over.
You fucking
like suck. You cannot bring that shit show to Philly.
No, you better get
because they won't only walk out. They'll tell you how much it fucking sucks on camera before they do.
That'll be a problem.
You
can get away with this in Charleston, West Virginia.
Right. There's an insomnia cookie around the corner from that fucking arena. You don't fuck around putting Parker Bordeaux on TV in Philadelphia.
You do not.
No
Dynamite.
All right, Dynamite.
So.
Yes.
Fucking hell. CM Punk comes out to cut
everybody.
promo.
I'm so sorry. This episode's gonna be 3 hours long. I apologize.
I'm not sorry.
Okay.
CM Punk comes out to cut a promo. He's back.
Yep.
All right. So he starts cutting his promo. He goes in on Adam Page.
Sure he does.
Calling out Adam Page, saying this is the guy he really wants to fight.
It's coward shit.
Yeah. Saying, where are we? We're close to your home, right? Where are you at?
Mm-hmm.
You say cowboy shit, you ain't going to come out. Well, that's coward shit.
Right.
And wouldn't you know it, my dear best friend?
Yes.
The internet fucking explodes today.
Right. Yes.
Listen, I ain't going to go into it. You could fucking read it for yourself.
Yeah, just know the internet sucks and Sean Ross Sapp never gets worked.
Is it a work? Is it a shoot? Is it a work shoot? Is he ribbing on the square? Is he fucking going into business for himself?
HH.
Is fucking CM Punk pulling one over on all the jabroni marks?
I enjoyed the escalation
what the fuck, man?
We were hanging out earlier, and I like the escalation, right? Because so SRS is like, this is this and whatever, and he's pissed off, and it was going into business for himself. And Meltzer's like, people aren't happy.
It wasn't part of the script.
He wasn't supposed to say that, blah, blah, blah. Right? And then it becomes Punk and Heyman have heat because Heyman cut that promo and brought up Cabana and whatever. And then they had a big blow up, and they had a sit-down meeting with Tony Khan and were told to leave personal shit out of their promos. And then Punk does this anyway. And then it wasn't clear with Hangman.
Giving a receipt to
right.
Hangman.
And then it became like, the Moxley thing was last minute addition for next week, that they just came up with that while the show's happening because they don't know what Punk's going to do. Because Punk wasn't going to show up this week even. That Punk had threatened not to show up for Dynamite because he was so mad at Hangman. And then it became Punk has now told Tony Khan that he's quitting. And that he's not going to be in AEW anymore because of what Hangman said to him. And then now it's not only is he quitting, but he let Tony Khan know that if he stays in the company, he's never going to job out to Hangman because of what Hangman said. And it's like, and then the locker room is split and this and that. And
FTR's on Punk's side. And
right.
The Bucks are on Hangman's side.
Right.
Jesus fucking Christ, people.
Is not a shoot. Well, he did the Snow Angels. It must be a shoot. Yeah, right. Listen, you fucking jabroni marks. It's work, and if it's not, stop fucking worrying about it because they'll figure it out.
So that's my whole thing. It's like everybody has this fucking dying need to be right.
Everybody wants to be an insider.
Like
Wrestling fans constantly, and this is coming from two guys who are sitting here for 2 hours talking about wrestling. We were once
not like this shit
right.
though.
We were once described as not having an agenda, and I still sort of like to stick to that. But don't fucking worry about it so much.
Yeah,
they'll figure it out. And if Punk takes his ball and goes home again,
then he fucking leaves. And guess what? He's gone.
And that's it. And fuck him.
Like,
right?
Yeah. If it all happens and he leaves and he's gone, then he's fucking gone. Right. What are you going to do about it?
And he leaves this fucking chocolate bunny at the door when he goes.
And that's it. That's it. You're done.
Right.
Like you're gone.
But you know what? You know what works to build a rematch for the title better than just saying, I guess we'll wrestle. Get everyone fucking worked up.
Exactly. Like
AEW uses their social media as a tool in that way. Everybody uses their social media to have something in their back pocket. And that's what this is.
Like, we were talking about this last night.
And if it's not what it is, they're going to fix it and make sure that's what it is.
Yeah, like, we were talking about this, like texting last night about, like, when this happened with the whole Punk shit. And, like, you texted me, what did Hangman do to Punk?
Right, I didn't even remember.
And he said, are they just positioning Punk as a bad guy again because Mox is too loved? Yeah. And I said, I wonder if it plays off of Hangman being a dick to Punk for no reason during their build-up to their match.
And we were used to talk about how weird that was.
You said maybe. Makes sense.
It makes sense. It does.
And I said from a character standpoint, it does.
It does. Because Punk's been out for a while. A lot of shit's been happening.
He got hurt, fucking 3 days after he won the title?
I like the thing in this promo where he was like, oh, Moxley, you say, you gotta... You only fight if you gotta bleed or break bones or whatever. Yeah. He's like, I'm the last one in this company to break a bone. He's like, that's my own. Yeah. But I did it.
But that line about him being a third best in each group he's in, that was a good line.
It's a great line. It's a great line.
Yeah.
And you're gonna tell me that Mox isn't professional and actually thinks that's a shoot and was mad too?
That's what I mean. Like,
it's a great fucking line. Yeah. It's pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Like, if you guys are taking it, listen, I understand Punk's reputation. Right. I totally get it. Am I like a Punk apologist to a point? Sure. Mm-hmm. But, like, let's be fucking real here, people. They're goddamn professionals, okay? Right. And listen, again, if Punk takes his fucking ball and goes home and says, I don't want to do this anymore, that's on you, dude.
Right.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, do I think, like, at that point you're kind of being a whiny bitch over something? Yeah, I do. But, like, a lot of people said, they go, hey, man went into business for himself on Punk.
Yeah.
Did he? I don't fucking know. It was weird when it happened.
Right.
We said how fucking weird it was.
Yep.
Like,
made no sense.
Yeah, it was super weird.
Right.
But God fucking damn it, everybody. Stop acting like you know what's going on. Just let this shit fucking play out. Shut up.
It's MJF bought a plane ticket. MJF's on a plane.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I said he bought the ticket, but I didn't say he got on the plane.
Yeah, like
bullshit all over again. Let it play out. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah.
The thing I didn't know where this was going. Announcing Mox Punk. And they do that a little later, but I didn't know where that was going because like, what are they going to do for the pay-per-view? And friend of the show, Jenna, pointed out to me on Twitter that you do the match here, it goes to a draw or a fuck finish or something, and then the pay-per-view is your stipulation match for these two maniacs, so Mox can bleed all over the place.
Yeah.
Or Hangman comes out, causes Punk. Then you do a 3-way at the pay something.
Sure.
It's all to get that match more interesting because the one-on-one singles match was announced for the pay-per-view before Punk was cleared.
Yeah, I know because I remember it got leaked. Yeah,
right. So by accident by the fucking arena.
Uh-huh.
So like, that's, to me, that's what they're doing. If not, I'm going to write it out. You know, I know a shit ton about the inside of wrestling. I've watched wrestling a lot.
Sure.
I know I've studied. I think about it all the fucking time. Believe me, if, you know, I can sit here and analyze if it's work, it's not, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to watch wrestling like I want to watch wrestling, which is, you tell me the story you're telling me, and I'm going to go along for the ride.
And that's the thing, like AEW, they have that grace right now still.
Right.
Where
and I think...
Yeah, they haven't let you down yet.
Right.
Except for one certain program. But
part of the issue, I wonder, is AEW is increasingly a different kind of wrestling. And we talk about this all the time. There hasn't been wrestling... Before AEW, it was 20 fucking years. No, you know, it was 19 years without competition for the E. And this AEW runs a very Southern style wrestling program.
Sure.
The match is different because of wrestling is, but storyline wise and stuff they do and that sort of stuff is a very Southern style. And I wonder if people aren't used to that and they're biting too hard on this storyline shit because they're not used to how hard these things can go.
And that's what everybody is saying right now. Like if you're falling on the side of the fence where guys, like, are you really getting this fucking worked?
Right.
Like,
I think they are.
Really?
Right, because they're not used to this, to wrestling fully committing. Because WWE, even when they do a storyline, they're still like, well, it's fake. Look, it's, you know, it's not real. We're not wrestling. We're soap opera, you know, whatever. I think WWE has ruined that trust purposefully. And I think AEW is not budging from the fact that, no, we're not. You know, Punk's wearing this boot at the fucking Comic-Con even though he's clear.
Even though he's fine.
Yeah. We ain't fucking talking about it. And, you know, whatever. I think they're just really good at using that to build the hype. And wrestling fans aren't used to that.
Yeah, I agree, man.
So
I thought it was a good segment, though, to build up him.
So, again, the three best, the second best Kingston, Kofi Kingston, Eddie Kingston. Three best Eddies.
Somebody pointed out today. Eddie Guerrero.
Right.
The other Eddie Fatu, Umaga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Because I was thinking Eddie Edwards, because I would imagine Eddie
I don't think
Punk.
they're no.
You don't think they crossed over in Ring of Honor at all?
Maybe early American.
Yeah.
No, because Punk left in 2005?
Yeah.
We're American Wolves in Ring of Honor in 05.
I don't know.
They were there when, like, Danielson left.
Yeah.
Which was a couple years later.
That's true. Maybe not.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
But yeah, somebody pointed out
they said Umaga's real name.
Yeah, I said Eddie Fatu. So.
Okay. I mean, I disagree, but okay.
I like Umaga.
I like Umaga too, but I like Eddie more.
Umanga.
I ain't putting him over Guerrero, but
no, well, fuck no. So Ricky Steamboat's on the show.
He is.
He's the timekeeper for the next match. Well, for the first match.
Right.
American Dragon Bryan Danielson, the Dragon Slayer Daniel Garcia.
Yes.
Best 2 out of 3 falls.
Yes.
Somebody tweeted this, and I was like, well, that's perfect. They forgot to tell these guys that wrestling ain't real.
Yeah. Right.
Because they beat the living shit out of each other.
Right.
Technical masterpiece. Brutal. Violent. I'm still in awe over Garcia reversing the triangle choke into that pile driver.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
awesome stuff.
I've never seen that before. That I was in heaven during.
You know what's interesting? And of course, these two guys are going to come up with crazy shit to do.
Yeah.
This was a match for me that sort of, I watched Garcia and he was a little hesitant to lay it in on the strikes on Danielson's head. The elbows looked a little soft, rightfully so.
Sure.
But this for me was one of the first matches, and again, they kill each other and they go for it. But this was a huge shift for me in Danielson's style, even further into that Suzuki-ish. Like, we're going to be believable, but I'm not beating myself up.
Yeah. I can see that.
You know, like, because, listen, the concussions are serious. Took him a long time to recover from that one.
Absolutely.
And the next one's going to take him longer, and the next one after that's going to take him longer, and eventually he's done.
Yeah.
And so this was sort of like, I'm like watching this going, oh, you're still doing all the stuff you can do, but you're being a little bit more protective than you had been in the past, rightfully so.
Except when he drives his forearm into Daniel Garcia's throat on the mat.
Well, protective of himself, not of Garcia. Yeah. This was a match. I told you I missed the first 2 falls because there was bears outside, which we also saw earlier, but you won't hear that part of this podcast because I edited it out. And I went back and watched it. they're insane. It's exactly what you wanted out of these guys.
Incredible. It's actually incredible.
Garcia, it's interesting. We haven't seen Wheeler in a couple weeks.
Yeah, not really.
Yuta, sort of whatever.
Yeah.
The punches at the end of this match were super gross.
Were they ever, dude?
But yeah, this match was awesome, and Dragon gets the Winnerooski back.
Gets the win back. Jericho comes down to try to attack him afterwards. And Garcia says no and rips him away from Dragon. Right. Do I think it could be a setup? Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. Who knows? I would love to have him in that Blackpool Combat Club.
And they are still they're all still Blackpool Combat Club, but it's interesting because they haven't really seen them together as a unit in a while. Yuta hasn't been on TV. Mox and Danielson don't really hang out.
Claudio have been pounding around a bit. Yeah, with Ring of Honor shit.
Yeah, we just don't see him a ton.
Yeah,
they're not coming out as a cohesive unit these last couple of weeks, which is weird.
No, they haven't had a match together since that brawl in the arena or whatever the fuck. So
Brawl for All, I think it was called.
But yeah, I love this. I fucking thought
match was awesome.
Maybe one of the best AEW matches so
far.
And
I thought the end of this was going to be where Steamboat was going to lay out Jericho.
Yeah. Well, after this, Tony Nese and Mark Sterling come to the ring. They get trampled by Moxley. Him and Punk just start beating the shit out of each other again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's heat, man. Build it up.
Yeah.
And that's where they announce, like, oh, we couldn't keep these two apart. We can't keep having this, so fuck it. Title match next week.
Right.
So who knows what happens there. But I can't wait because that's going to be huge.
Yeah, that's going to be massive.
We get the backstage with Steamboat with Jericho. And
Jericho wants Garcia to pick a side.
2.0 or 3.0, whatever they want to call them.
I thought Steamboat was going to be like, I'm a better mentor for Garcia, and then we're going to get Steamboat and Garcia together. But
I love it, though, Steamboat, because they have the history with Jericho.
How good was that Jericho-Steamboat match, like in WWE?
Incredible.
Steamboat came back.
Yeah, incredible.
With like $1 million.
Yeah, balding Steamboat looked amazing.
And he gets fucking jumped and hurts his back backstage. Who the fuck hurt him? Was it Heath Slater?
No, I thought it was the Shield. Or no, it was the Nexus that beat him.
Yeah.
Was it Heath Slater? Or that was Justin Gabriel.
Maybe it was.
But listen, Steamer throwing fucking chops at Cool Hand Ange.
Absolutely.
That made me happy.
It's funny, like, these dudes, like, I talk about all the time, like, if I was a wrestler and whatnot, I think about that shit all the time. But, like, I don't know how, as a wrestler, you're able to be of a certain age, being, like, our age, or a little older, younger, or whatever Ange happens to be, doing a promo with Steamboat where you got to grip him up, you got to goozle Steamboat and not just smile the whole time.
Yeah,
and then like get chopped by him and not just grin, like sell it like you're hurt, because it's fucking Ricky Steamboat, universally loved.
Yep. Perfect example of that was years ago when Jake the Snake came back on that episode of Raw, and he put the snake on Moxley's face, and Moxley was just grinning the whole time. Like he's like, "Yes, this is what I want."
Right?
So, hey, Gun Club Varsity Blondes.
My notes is just laughing.
Squish.
Yeah. Fuck those guys.
Squish. Stoke.
Yeah. Fuck.
Turn.
Fuck the fucking Varsity Blondes.
Yeah. I agree.
Get the hell out of here.
Billy afterwards is just like, I'm proud of you guys and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Stoke comes out on the ramp. And then, the Gun Club turn on Daddy Ass.
We do.
And the Acclaim makes the save for Daddy Ass. Yeah. And Will You Scissor Me Daddy Ass by Anthony Bowens. And we have a 3-way scissor and things are happy.
Absolutely.
Everyone's happy.
Yes. Super weird. But whatever.
I said, listen, get Bart Gunn on the line. You want a tag partner, Billy, to beat up your sons? Bring in Uncle Bart.
You should just call up his old pal Tanahashi.
That's true. Or call Tanahashi.
Who the fuck did Billy wrestle in the Grand Prix tagging with?
Oh,
Yoshitatsu. Yeah.
What's Chuck Palumbo up to?
Oh my god, I wish.
I
wish. Somebody was selling a Billy and Chuck 2-pack in the group the other day, and I was like, yeah.
You really want to fucking print money?
Give Road Dogg a job that he's been begging for forever?
No.
Oh.
No, I said print money, not light it on fire.
Oh.
No More BS. Paul White is in the company. You want to have a double trouble crap on a stick reunion to beat up the shit out of your kids?
Listen, I'm here for it. You want to do double trouble crap on a stick? I'm all in.
Gun show, shoguns, double trouble crap on a stick.
What?
Yep.
WWE was real bad for a real long time, and I don't think enough people acknowledge that.
He was the one Billy Gunn, brother.
He certainly was.
The next thing I have here is the Jungle Boy Christian thing.
Yeah, we did a Death Triangle promo. Yeah, it's Pac and them versus Ospreay and Aussie Open. That's gonna be a crazy match. That's interesting because everyone's sort of positioned on a global scale now. But in AEW, I don't know if you have one of your champions lose.
Well, it's a three-way. They're just six-man, so who knows? And Ospreay's been teasing a new member of United Empire, so who knows?
Yep.
But yeah, the Jungle Boy Christian stuff.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Jungle Boy. He was getting some chants.
Yeah, he's not great on the mic.
No,
I think they're throwing him into the deep end a little too quick.
He was good that first night when he was real pissed off, but and then...
Well, and cutting the promo about how I'm not allowed to wear a T-shirt anymore.
Yeah.
It was real dumb.
Yeah, Christian came out. Tell you what, that beatdown was pretty good.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy was kicking the shit out of him, and I think someone said oh wow, a babyface that's actually mad somebody turned on him. You know? That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Next thing I have is Tony Storm, Kylan King.
I thought it was okay.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's all.
It's okay.
I
like it. Listen, I like that Kylan King said, I'm going to go out on the indies and I'm going to get better.
Right. Absolutely.
I think she's gotten better.
I think so. Yeah.
She has a good presence.
Right.
She's big, she's tall, you know.
Right.
I think you work. There's something there.
I think, you can work with her. I think that's smart. I think that's what a lot of some of those people need to do is sort of
down Angels.
Right.
He's doing
say, I understand I need to get better. I'm not here yet.
Yeah.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I thought she looked good.
And put your work in. I thought she looked good. I thought this was an okay match.
Yeah.
Tony Storm's winning, and there's no question of that. But it wasn't a squash. I thought she looked good. And Tony Storm has named it the Sweet Cheeks music. So
sure.
Yeah. Why not?
I guess.
Whatever.
Last thing I had was main event.
That's the last thing going.
So it is. Are they officially calling themselves Faction and Gobernable?
Yes, Faction Day and Gobernable.
Yeah, so it's Andrade, Roosh, and Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee not a member. Dragon Lee just there with them.
Which is weird because he's Roosh's brother.
Yes.
So you think he'd be in it.
Right.
Who fucking knows?
Right.
Versus the Young Bucks.
Yes.
And the returning, the cleaner.
Right.
One Mr. Kenny Omega.
Kenneth Omega, yes.
Obviously, this has been getting hyped up since last week when Hangman turned them down.
Yes.
Kenny Omega comes out. Great to have him back.
Right.
No fucking doubt.
Sure.
I hope he's more healed up than he lets on.
Yeah.
I think he's more healed up than he lets on.
Yeah.
He did two very subtle things during this match, which I thought were brilliant.
Okay.
When he does the You Can't Escape shoulder roll through, pops up on his feet, pops up the second row moonsault, he didn't pop up onto his feet. And he kind of looked at the Bucks I was like, smart.
Yeah.
And another thing was like he was taking those deep breaths for cardio, which again I thought smart.
Yeah. If anything is still actually wrong with him, cardio is going to be the hardest thing to get back.
That'll be the hardest.
Because in-ring cardio, you can run as much as you want. It's not the same as being in cardio for in a ring.
Yeah. I thought this match was just awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Andrade with the shoulder.
Oh, I'm very interested to see if they announce what happened with him and his arm.
Yeah.
Because
what a trooper though.
That thing about so they gave this half an hour or so on TV. 15 minutes in or so, I saw it. I messaged you or put it online. Like that, his left arm went dead.
Yeah,
it was hanging.
Once you said it to me, I noticed that. I texted back. I was like, "Oh, that shit's just hanging."
It's hanging.
Yeah,
and he did a couple things in this match, and and Kenny looks a little smaller. He's wearing the shirt with the shoulder brace, whatever. I think that's all a story. Whatever you're gonna build and build.
Sure.
I don't want Callous. It just doesn't, especially on commentary. The commentary is just them fighting the whole time. I'm not into it. But Andrade, so the arm's hanging in the middle. He does some real smart things. He had every right in the world to say, "Tag me out, my arm's fucked."
Yep, I'm just going to sit on the outside.
I'll hit a couple big things when I need to be, and he doesn't. He tags in and out. He goes after Kenny. He wrestles one arm.
Crazy,
one thing that I like the most that he did in this whole match was I don't remember if it was. I think it was against Kenny, and they threw Kenny off the ropes, and him and Dragon Lee or him and Roosh were going to do like a double move, like the drop down, like some back body drop, something double move, and Kenny reverses it and is going to hit them. And when they set it up, Roosh or whoever is on is sort of left center. And Andrade lines up right, but that means his left arm is in the middle, and he swings out to the other side so that his right arm is in the middle, and it's a slight adjustment, but that way he's not feeding with that left arm. He made sure to position himself to not feed up with that left arm, because he can move it. He was grabbing the ropes and stuff, but it was dead for power.
He couldn't
do shit with it. But he did not bow out of that match. He kept fucking going, which hopefully means he kind of is aware enough to know that, like, I'm not fucked here. You know, like when you look at Becky when she separated her shoulder, you got that big bulge and then that drop off, and he didn't seem to have that.
Even when you go back, talking a while ago, Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, when Karrion Kross blew his shoulder out, you could see it.
So it could be just a stinger.
That's what I said. I hope it's just a stinger.
Something, you know, maybe a slight dislocation or something. Hopefully nothing too bad. But man, what a fucking trooper!
For
like
real,
that
man.
arm was hanging, and he was like, "No, I'll wrestle. I'll wrestle the biggest names in the world. I don't care."
Like new respect for him,
right? Absolutely. Roosh, I'm still not on the board for all the way.
Yeah, out of the three on that team, he's definitely the third.
Yeah,
Dragon Lee
might be the first.
Dude, that dive to the outside was nuts.
Excuse me, it's very unsafe.
And I don't like. Fuck off.
People. I don't think he should be doing stuff like that. No, it was awesome.
Yeah.
The guardrail was pulled out away from the first row anyway. Whatever. Dragon Lee looked awesome. Yeah. This match was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
Yep. Happy seeing Omega back out there, man.
Yeah, he gets the reaction.
He's such a presence.
Absolutely.
He's a name. He's a huge star.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here because he's going to be featured.
Yeah.
Money's on them winning it. The Kenny stuff, and he tweeted today, like, you know, I'm not all the way. I don't know if I ever will be, but I'm not even back to where I think I can get. But it's every week it's improving and getting better and growing, and I'm here to fight and here to show the Bucks that I can do this and whatever. So, like, if they wanted it out for him to not win it, they can say, well, he's not, you know, they took advantage of him because he's not 100. But money's on them winning those fucking belts, right?
No doubt.
But yeah, it was a crazy cool match. The commentary could do better. Like, I'm not a big Roosh guy.
Yeah.
This was cool. It was a good way to end the show.
Yeah, huge. And then, like, the weird, like, Rush thing at the end where, like...
Yeah, that's super weird.
A lot of people were like, oh, was that meant to happen? Like, people think, are the classic, are the luchadors going into business for themselves?
Well, right, but, I don't know. But, like, I know some people saying, it was an accident. His mask wasn't supposed to fall off. Andrade untied it.
Yeah, he untied the mask.
He untied it before he hit the move.
It was 100% supposed to come out. That's been their whole thing, is removing your mask.
Right. So, like, I don't know, like, is this, like, Dragon Lee wanting to lose the mask? Or are they trying to create a little drama for themselves off script?
Who knows?
Who knows?
People were like, was it a timing issue?
Right. I think
it felt very chaotic.
And then, like, the Bucks tried to, look to be running back in.
Yeah,
and Tony Khan did tweet out that we're going to see what happened on Rampage.
Yeah,
he said like, you know, there was stuff after the camera stopped rolling for Dynamite. We'll update you on it and show you what happened on Rampage.
There must have been a timing issue, I'd imagine.
Maybe it was supposed to be a little more in the round of time.
Who knows?
I don't know. It's weird, but whatever.
Yeah.
You would think that you'd want to keep them together, but it's also like, well, they're blaming him for the law. I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird.
Super weird. But Dragon Lee's also not signed, so he doesn't have to be around.
No.
But he's a talented fucking wrestler, man.
Yeah, they'd be smart to sign him.
I agree.
Honestly, like watching that last night, I was like, I would give a contract to Dragon Lee. I'd give a contract to Kyle and King.
Yeah.
I really would.
Right now, you need the bodies in that
I think both of them would be nice additions to that company.
Yeah.
So.
For sure.
Hey, that's all the wrestling we watched this week.
That was a lot of wrestling.
We knew it was going to be a marathon. So.
I'm gonna make it a goal to watch less wrestling this week.
We'll see. Got it. I didn't even talk about me watching the A&E documentaries and the Rivals and shit too. I don't sleep because my neighborhood's fucking insane.
Right. Popping off.
Oh god, we got brawls in the middle of the street. Yeah. We got hit and runs.
Was it this week where where Bischoff said that if he knew DX was outside, he would have welcomed him into the ring on Nitro, even though the DX stuff was a pre-tape that happened in the afternoon and Nitro taped 8 to 10 o'clock at night?
No, but I watched the Rivals thing.
Was that this week or was that last week?
I don't know. No, I watched the Rivals thing and Kevin Nash was on it and he was just like, Yeah. He's like, you know what? What would happen if we showed up at their TV?
Yeah.
Or no, it was Triple H saying it. He goes, yeah, if Nash and Hall like showed up and stuff, he goes, we would have let him go right to the ring.
Right.
And like Vince said, no, let him come right in, let him go right to the ring. He goes, because guess what? What are we going to do? Watch the show with all the wrestlers on it or just some of the wrestlers?
Right.
And Trips was like, yeah, that made sense.
Right.
Like, why they didn't let us in, I'll never fucking know.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, that's it.
Because it wasn't being taped at the same time. That's why you didn't get in there.
But that's it.
Yes.
We're done. Did you buy anything?
Did I buy anything wrestling related this week? No.
Me neither. Okay. Collapsible segment, because I didn't either.
Yes, no.
So, all right. No. Well, I guess you could, uh-oh. What are you
No, I didn't buy anything.
Oh, the Kingston meet and greet.
Oh, yeah, the Kingston meet and greet for LVAC. Yeah. Opened up some balcony seats.
Yeah, get your tickets, everyone.
Yeah, get your tickets.
Come hang out. Come holler at your boys.
Just about a week away. Come see us. Super. Like I said, come see us. If you find us in a crowd, pick us out of a crowd and know what we look like somehow mysteriously. I'll buy you a vegan donut, or at least I'll buy a vegan donut for us to share. Those things might be expensive.
Hey, I'll buy a round for the boys again. That was fun.
Oh yeah, we'll do a round for the boys. Yeah. But I'm talking about asshole strangers here.
Asshole strangers.
But
good
it's gonna be fun.
That.
Get your meet and greet. Excited to meet Eddie.
Excited to hang out.
Yeah, excited to hang out, everybody. Hopefully there's some other people I can peruse their wares and get some other mark picks. So they did say at the Eddie meet and greet there's going to be some other people just milling around, so we'll see what happens.
Gotta get my gummy war picture.
That's right. We say that every time and then we never do.
I know. Well, it's going to happen this time. It's happening.
Especially because they're going to win the Tag Team Super 8 this year.
Fucking A right there.
But anyway, I didn't buy anything. You didn't buy anything. Nope. Thanks for listening, everybody. This has been We Need Wrestling. At We Need Wrestling on Twitter, WeNeedWrestling.com. Proud member of the soon-to-be-named network at STBN Network on Twitter, soon-to-be-named-network.com, soon-to-be-named-network.tumblr.com. Longbox Heroes, Longbox Heroes After Dark, At Odds with Wrestling, Wings on Wings, We Need Music.
No Chance in Helmet.
No Chance in Helmet.
By the way.
Unlimited Engagement.
Hey, Final Wrestling Quiz.
Yeah.
You're coming over to our side.
Oh my god! I wanted to talk about this so bad, and we went so long.
I know,
but my heart, like
exploding.
In the Grinch when he hears the Whoville singing and his heart grows 3 sizes.
Yep.
Mine did that too, and it wasn't angina. I was like, you guys watched like one of the best matches ever, and like Akira Tao's your favorite wrestler. Yep. And I was like, that's hilarious. And just watching a match like that and falling in love. And then
they're watching Okada Tanahashi.
Right. And I sent them some stuff. I got a ton of that stuff.
Yeah, I know. I was like, hey, man, you need whatever you need.
Right,
let us know.
Right. I got it. I was DMing them guys back and forth about a bunch of stuff this week. About All Japan Japanese Wrestling and the pillars and where to find it.
Yeah.
And check out Jack Shear's Graps. Everybody can check him out on YouTube. Yes. He's going through All Japan right now, but like in the 70s, he has put up a show that had like Harley Race versus Jumbo Shruder from 77, 2 out of 3 falls for the NWA title. Check all that shit out. All those guys coming over to our side, recognizing the greatness that is the pillars. All 5 of them. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
I'm with you. There's 5.
And, that's it. I said everything, right?
Yeah.
All right. Listen to Joe on 5-Star Match Game. That was a lot of fun. I listened to that today.
I got to get that in tomorrow.
That was a lot of fun. And come see us in a week. Oh, I guess we'll plug LVAC again one more time next week. But that's it. We'll be back next week covering the N1 in Noah. And who the hell knows what else.
Who knows what
else?
Not
as much as this.
That's
hopefully.
True. Well, everybody, thank you. The Rainmaker reigns supreme, and I'm going to go to bed.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Knock it off, nerds!